All right. Should be good.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 21st dinner with the boys. We've got your 4 people. 1 extra's not here. You have next to me, bloody biscuits. Below me, Shib.
Ease.
Diagonal to me,
Ease.
mieDAX. It's a wonderful day, ladies and
My
gentlemen.
Dax.
Vash will be joining us shortly. Welcome once again, everybody, to dinner with the boys. It's gonna be a short one, like a short-ish one. I mean, whatever you consider short. People do watch hour podcasts, and they're like, "Man, that was long." And then I realized,
for like
man,
5. Yeah.
yeah, we have like a 5-hour one. So we're doing like a 3-hour one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
My
it's gonna be a shorter version.
My sister's coming to town for the week, so I'm gonna be picking her up from the airport with the family around like 11:30 or 12. So I want to be ready for that.
And we want to apologize for the people that watch us on YouTube. We uploaded late. Sorry.
That was my bad.
Our bad. Our bad.
No, that's
all
my
of our
bad.
bads.
That's my bad.
It's all of our bads. It's all of our bads.
That's my bad. My bad.
Sorry.
Poor Dax. He doesn't want to disappoint anybody, dude.
So once again, everybody, thank you for coming along to twitch.tv/dinner with the boys. Let all your people know. Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys. Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys. Every Monday, hanging out. What y'all eating? What's on the menu?
I got meal prep actually. I got some nice tilapia seasoned with Old Bay, it looks like.
Yes.
It looks a little, it doesn't have that like nice orange look to it just because of the camera, but it's really good. And then coming in with some rice and veggies. Got a little snack of Aceuhh's pub mix. If anybody has tried it before, it's good pub mix. And of course, some orange vanilla Coke.
Hell yeah, brother.
That was a good dinner. Got myself.
Oh, I tried that shit, dude.
It's pretty good.
It's so good, dude.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
It's not like supremely better than vanilla Coke, but it's okay.
It's nice.
Tastes like a creamsicle with Coke.
Yeah.
All right, Dax, what you got coming up?
My ass been cleaning every goddamn day since Monday, and I had a lot more to finish up today than I thought. So I just hopped out of the shower like 10 minutes ago. So my ass on Uber Eats right now because I haven't had time to do anything. I've been making this house fucking spotless. My room looks amazing. You can't see it, but it's all right. It looks pretty good. But yeah, there was a bunch of stuff I had to do kind of last minute, getting the guest room prep for them and all this other shit. I just forgot to take care of my bathroom, and I have this problem where my bathroom ends up becoming this place where it's like, oh, look at how, because the room right here, it's kind of divided. You know, Aceuhh, you remember, it's kind of divided, and then on the other side is where like the toilet and the shower and everything is. So I have this space where it's like a sink and then just a bunch of shelves and like floor space. And so I take the advantage to say like, hey, I have this box of stuff. Where does it go? I guess it's going on the floor in the bathroom. It's going to sit there for another year. So I've been going through a bunch of stuff and be like, oh, I don't need that. Oh, that's where that was. And just dusting and cleaning the fuck out of everything. So
what you finna to get on Uber Eats, huh?
I don't know. I'm scrolling right now. They keep upping their fucking. I don't like using this shit. I mean, I never really did, but it was more of a lazy thing. But I especially don't like doing it now because their fucking delivery fees are outrageous.
Hey, yo, chat, help out my man Dax here. What should he get from Uber Eats?
Like $4.49 for fucking McDonald's? Are you for delivery fee on top of tax and everything else? Are you kidding me? No. Like literally, it gets to the point where the meal itself costs like significantly less than all the other fees. So it's like it's really not worth it. But for today, fuck it. I see Panda, I'm thinking it.
Ooh.
I see Moe's, I'm not thinking it. Because we don't do that shit anymore.
All right, Shib.
I'll figure it out.
What you got?
Well, what's wrong with Moe's, dude?
Ain't good.
It's fucked up.
Look, I'm not gonna look. Shib, I love your ass to death. I ain't gonna take any fucking words from you regarding food, Mister. Like, oh, there's fucking you put salt on my anything. Please take it off. I can't have more than one ingredient. I don't want to hear it.
I had shepherd's pie. I'll be right back to.
Ooh,
All right, bet. All right, shepherd's pie.
look at
That's
that.
some good shit. I went to Jimmy John's. I got the Italian, with no tomato. That shit good. That shit very, very good.
Ooh, load it up.
And I got a Dr. Pepper, with shaved ice.
We were talking earlier before the cast started about the elegance of the shaved ice versus the cubed ice. I
Yeah,
think we wholeheartedly
and
agree on.
shaved ice is so much better than cubed ice.
It really is.
It really is. Like if someone asks me, like, "Hey man, you want some shaved ice?" Hey, bet, put it in there. Hey, shave that shit right in, sir. But yeah, that's what I'm eating. All right, so shit. How's the week's been, boys? What's popping?
I mean, y'all know me. I've just been
You've been cleaning.
a lot of cleaning. The house is looking amazing right now. I
If
got
it looking
one.
good, you're in
I
there.
have one last thing to do, which is really. I'm probably not gonna do it because this is like an every 2 to 3 year ordeal where I go through my fucking closet and I really don't want to do all that. But I have a figure display case that's the that big glass enclosed one where it's not like it's enclosed all the time, so it's not very dusty. It's noticeable, but it's not going to take long to clean. I just haven't gotten to it. I've been getting a lot of the stuff that's been like not enclosed. So actually, I can tell this. So you can see I have so much bullshit. All that shit on that shelf, cleaning just one bit at a time with a fucking microfiber just by hand, and that's an every 3 to 6 month thing. But then I have that glass case over there, fucking all that shit. So that's all good. But all those books, all that shit. Couch ain't up here right now because the kids are going to be using.
He's got a lot of
We got a lot of
figures.
anime bullshit. Last accumulated over fucking what, a decade now.
You walk into his shit and you're just like, whoa, Dax. All right, buddy. Hey, how's it going?
But,
it's great. It's a fan. I'm very envious.
It's very cozy. A lot of titties. A lot of anime titties.
Hey, that's a big okay hand emoji out of me, brother.
But chocolate glue. But yeah, normally the couch would be up here, but it's downstairs. The kids usually use it. My nieces, Jet and Jay, they use it in the living room, and then the guest room. Michelle and her husband Ryan usually sleep up there, so they're taking care of that. But yeah, just a lot of that, and I haven't really played very much. I played a little bit of RE2, some of the extra content that I wanted to get to, the Fourth Survivor, which is like you start out as what was his name? I can't remember. You start out as the guy, and you basically Hunk. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't hear. You started as Hunk, and like they put you in the fucking sewer. They give you all these resources, weapon, or whatever, and you just gotta fight your way from the sewers out, like all the way through the RPD and out to the helicopter at the front. It's fucking cool. I've gotten really close, but I only did like 3 tries, just to see how it felt before I stopped. But it's super fun. Like a lot of the bonus content seems really neat. Let's see what else. I haven't really played DMC5. Lately. I know Blighted Palace came out today. I was gonna try to get a little bit of time on it, but I guess I'll let Vash go over all that later. But like when I was looking more into what it actually has to offer, I was like, I'll just get to it when I get to it because it's not quite as exciting as I thought. Plus, some of the Vash, and I'll talk about that later. But some of the remarks about the game from Matt and other people kind of.
There's got to be a joke.
I've been kind of pissed off today about it, so I've been kind of in a bad mood, and I've been channeling that mood into all the cleaning I've been doing. So I'm just really irritated.
Let's pipe up that tea, boys.
I know.
Get that teapot going.
I forgot it was April Fool's today. I think a lot of people did. I didn't get pranked or anything because I don't go outside. But I don't know if anyone else.
If you're a jackass that put the notification on your fucking picture on Discord, fuck off.
That's really good. That's really good.
And your Discord server, if you put the one notification, if you did in there, kick the stool.
Dude,
run hands.
I had my fucking
also, I can't turn on my camera right now because my internet's shitting itself and it makes everything lag.
Oh, that's fine. No worries. No, my ex Allie, she called me today and she was like, "Oh my god, it's the funniest thing happened." Where she's for her, like, I feel like the best way I can describe it amongst us and people in chat is like Norma humor. It's the only way I can think of it. As dumb as that fucking sounds. Because she's like, oh my god, the funniest thing happened today. I'm like, all right, what is it? And she was like, I went away from my computer because she's a receptionist at this orthopedics place. She was like, oh, I went away from my computer. I came back 5 minutes later, and Chelsea turned the monitor upside down, and I didn't understand what was going on. And I was like, it's funny. And it's like, on one hand, it's like, it's pretty cute. At the same time, it's like, when I think of pranks, I think of fucking, we stuffed like 4 firecrackers up this guy's ass. And like, or like we what's the classic one where they cut out like thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures of Nicolas Cage and just put them everywhere. Hold on, I need to change the layout since Vashy Boy's here. There we go.
No, see, our kind of humor is fucking when Aceuhh and Shesh go down to the ground floor and in the snow carve out "you're fucking gay."
Dax
and make
is
you look
gay
down at it.
and fucking pose together with their arms around each other. Dax is gay, and so that's so that's what I think about. So yeah, she was telling me stuff. It's like, oh, they flipped my monitor, and then I was trying to use my mouse and it wouldn't work because they put tape underneath it, and I'm like, that's adorable.
That picture is so great.
That's so simple and tame.
That picture is so great of Dax is gay because if you zoom in, you see 2 little ants that are just like, you can hear us giggling in the picture. Yeah.
Fucking Christ. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that really stands out. Not too much.
Well, hell yeah.
Just a lot of cleaning, a lot of that.
Cleaning.
Pretty much.
All right, well, inhale another bottle of Lysol. VashTSB has joined the fray.
One last thing, I've been playing KH1 again. KH3 sucks. KH1's sick. This game's great. I missed it.
Oof.
Aceuhh, handle my light work here.
I can't see Vash. What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen,
VashTSB
has joined the fray.
I'm about to try restarting your Discord.
Okay, now I can see.
Is it working? Okay.
VashTSB has joined the fray. Ladies and gentlemen, Vash, what's up, dude? What's going on?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, gamers?
What's up,
what you got to eat?
Some the TSB classic. We got the scrambled eggs with spring onion and chopped up bacon inside.
Ooh.
Habanero salsa on top. And yeah, for dessert I have a Quest bar.
Oh, delicious.
We're out here.
Good shit. How's the week?
Back.
How was the week? Week was aight. Had y'all remember that Japanese test I was telling you, the most extreme Japanese shit I've ever faced?
Yeah, I wanted to know what the results were.
92%.
Hey, let's go, baby!
Bitch.
Round of applause, chat. You fucking clap for this man.
I think I have the highest grade in the class.
I was also going to ask if you felt like you were in the highest percentile at least.
Oh yeah, I was talking
because I bet it was.
Damn, good shit.
Other people were like, "Hey man, I got a fucking C, I got a D." I was like,
The
Jesus.
biggest weeb around.
Yeah, I am King Weeb.
You're actually a weeb now, dude. Now you can't.
A weeb.
Soon enough, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, dude, load up Kakagiri season 2 on Netflix next year."
Did you get to
Honestly,
see like? Did you get? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say, is like, as long as we get to watch the remainder of B, the beginning, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I need to finish that. I didn't see the last 2 episodes. I'm so confused on what the show's going on. But like,
I know.
I went back and watched the fucking fight scene when they're in the rain. God damn, that show is gorgeous. What the fuck?
Good,
and no one fucking talked about it. Like no one talked about it except for like one of the only which I mean I guess it's fair, this is the only fucking anime YouTuber guy I watch, but I think it was Gigik, where he did one of his like anime seasonal things where because he just fucking he's funny, he's charming, he blasts through it really quick, he doesn't fucking waste your time. Like it's really good. But he was like talking about that show and like just showing off the animation or whatever, like not long after GDQ, and like other than that I never hear anyone fucking mentioning it. It's super sick.
So what else did we oh Aceuhh, we watched that whack fucking lo-fi hip-hop anime.
Lo-fi hip-hop anime.
Yeah, when Dax was in the cavern.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
What was it called? I don't even remember.
I can't remember. All I remember is that like it's like one of those things where when It's like you knew shit was going down. It's the Bleach syndrome. You knew shit was going down when the Gaussian blur started picking up in the area and the colors started getting like that was the only time you knew shit was going down.
That anime, that whole ass anime was ran through Adobe After Effects.
Yeah, it had to have been. It had to have been.
Just
The only thing redeeming about it was like the soundtrack. Everything else we just really didn't understand.
Just fucking taken from chill lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax / study to.
Yeah, exactly.
To be anime to.
But yeah, how the test went well. What else?
Test went well. Fucking. Oh, you did. I did some homework. I did some work.
Hey,
we out here with this young tax return. That shit hit.
Oh, hey, tax returns always be hit.
Tax returns be hidden. Young tax. Little rapper. Named by Young Tax Return. We got fucking simultaneous checks hitting the bank account. We're stacking up dough. I was actually thinking about this today. I might go to AX. I don't know.
Oh shit.
I might.
There he
travel
is.
to Cali.
Well, hell yeah.
We'll see. But when
If you guys are going to AX, go say hi to my man VashTSB. Potentially. If you're going to Evo, come say hi to us. We won't be there.
Definitely come say hi to us at Evo.
We ran into fucking Milla there, and we didn't even expect the dude to be there. We were like, "What the Milla? What are you doing here?"
Hey, what's going on? What's up, guy?
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
That dude. Okay, so every time we go to Evo, you know who is there that never runs into us, never talks to us? Is fucking Zilfin.
Zilfin goes to Evo?
Yeah.
What fucker doesn't talk to us?
I know. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Weird.
Well, shit. All right. Well, hell. All right. Shib, how's the week?
I don't even remember.
All right.
That's accurate.
I finished Sekiro.
You're right.
100% Sekiro. Got all the achievements and shit.
Nice.
I don't remember doing much else besides that, though.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, the game's fucking great.
Well, hell yeah.
It requires several playthroughs, and some of the endings are a little finicky to acquire, but that's just FromSoft in general, I guess. Yeah. I still think the game's great. A lot of discourse about people wanting an easier version of the game, like every FromSoft game that comes out.
So how do you like Shakira?
Shakira has some fire hips.
Uh-huh.
Sekiro is a fun video game as well.
Yo, I fucking asked. Okay, shout outs to the socially awkward do at my Walgreens, because I was just putting my shit on the counter, and I just fucking place can on there. I say, "What's up?" And he says, "Up" is an animated movie from I forget which company, DreamWorks or is it Disney Pixar? He starts giving me like the fucking Wikipedia of Up.
How many times do you think he's rehearsed that?
At least 16, but he still stopped midway through and just looked at me, and I was like, because I think he was expecting me to start busting up laughing with like the work laugh, but I didn't. I was just like, oh shit, word, okay.
He wanted the pity laugh, dude. He was waiting for it.
He looked like a pity laugher.
So at least he didn't get hit by the shit that.
That's what I did. I did that this weekend too.
At least he didn't get hit by the shit that I did at Walgreens the other day, where this guy wanted to tell me his whole fucking life story. That was fun. Talking about like his 3 marriages and all sorts of shit. And I'm like, dude, I just want these M&Ms and Lee, and you know, I'm like, he just starts going. Like sometimes I hate how hard it just translates to something completely fucking different for some people.
Well, you know,
bro. Last time I went to Korean barbecue, the waiter literally wouldn't go away. Like he just sat there talking for like ever. He's like, "So you guys look like you're in a band. You in a band?" And I was like, "I was in a band like 7 years ago. I'm not in a band anymore." And he's just like, "Oh, what kind of music you listen to?" Oh, cool. You guys probably think I'm weird, huh? And I was like, "Yeah."
That's the shit that I can't. Oh god.
And then like I don't remember what, but he was talking like for so long, and I was like, "Are you gonna get us our food, dude? Like I'm fucking hungry. I didn't come here to talk to your ass. I came here to eat." Like there's a line of okay, you're cool, like you can talk to your you're a waiter and you can talk to people, but this man crossed it for like 30
Yeah.
minutes before he stopped talking.
I had that happen to me once, but it wasn't terrible because it was like 4 of us, like 4 of my friends, and like the chick waiter, and she just like didn't want to work anymore. So she was just like, I'm gonna hang out with y'all for a little bit. I was like, okay, sure.
Okay. And we didn't invite you, but that's cool, whatever.
That's cool. I mean, you just sat down with us and hung out. She was like, thank you. I fucking hate this place. I hate all of these people. You guys are the only normal people that have walked in fucking days, and I'm like sitting there with my hentai shirt, like, okay, sure.
Yeah, normal.
Real normal. All right, bet. But damn, yeah, no.
What the fuck was it? A Denny's?
Applebee's.
Oh, well, that
I was at-
explains
I
it.
was
Yeah,
at
hella
Green
wild
Barbecue.
people.
And he was the one non-Asian waiter, and I was like, of course, dude, he's a fucking school shooter, dude.
Oh, of course.
Of course. You gotta know the mix. How else can you block it?
It's fair.
Fair.
And I went back, like, I remember I went back, like, I don't remember how long, it was multiple weeks later. And I was like, oh, please don't give us the fucking weird guy. And we didn't get the weird guy, but the weird guy walked by our table. He's like, hey, I remember you guys. I was like, Jesus fuck, dude. Let's this again.
Why?
How does he remember us? Dude? Like, leave me alone.
It would have been so great if like after a couple of turns with your existing waiter, that guy came in and started taking your order. And he was like, oh no, we did trade seats. It's okay. Just want to talk to y'all for a bit.
I would have fucking just like put the gun in the mouth right there, dude.
Fucking kick the stool immediately.
I just would have thrown myself onto the fucking grill.
It's like, how big is
It's
your
table.
oven? Can it fit
Can it fit me? Otherwise, this fucking table cooking is gonna take a minute.
How long do I gotta roast?
Just do it,
All right,
dude.
baby. How's the week been, bro?
It's good, man.
He's
What's
just
up,
giving
dude?
you that. He's just giving you that look.
He's just
What's up, dude?
A lot actually.
Oh, okay.
y'all
sure.
y'all have a hibachi? No. Fuck, dude. I finished Dark Souls. It was my first
Ooh.
FromSoft game that I've actually finished. So that was really sweet.
Rewarding?
I almost want to make like a small like just thoughts on Dark Souls video. Just like not necessarily like a fucking review, a full-blown review. There's like 5 bajillion of those out there. Like you don't need my fucking dumbass opinion clogging everybody's experience. But yeah, it's just it's fucking it's dope. So just I mean I'm excited to play more FromSoft games. I don't know. I want to gush like a little bit, but like not too much. Just yeah.
Hey, go for it, dude.
It's
dude.
no, I mean like it's refreshing to have a game like that I mean once you get into it you kind of understand the difficulty behind it, and it's not necessarily like hard like, oh wow, this is going to be so punishing, you're going to hate yourself for like centuries sort of hard. And maybe a lot of that is because I got a BKS early on and I can just like one tap a lot of enemies, but it's really just kind of appreciating like the level design and the enemy design and how they kind of go hand in hand, and what build you want to go with for certain specific situations. Shit like that is just like, it was just super dope. So that was awesome. And then, dude, fucking Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Vanitas mod drops.
that
Like
shit.
it's super
Yeah.
sick.
What
I'm
the
excited.
fuck?
I'm excited to play it. It looks really sick.
few
Yeah, I
days
want to
ago.
play that shit. I want to play that shit.
Yeah.
Too.
It's so for people who don't fucking know, 2FM has like a really long modding history. It just started off like pretty basic with just like Game Shark codes and like swapping bosses with certain locations, or you get to fight 2 bosses at once, or some, you know, cute shit like
Yeah.
that. And then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, I kind of want to play as like certain characters or something like that. So like people were trying to mod Riku as playable, or mod Roxas as more playable in certain areas, and shit like that. And but it was always like super limited, and it never really worked out with the game itself. And people also have like been working on like modding bosses to be a little bit more difficult and have different animations and shit. And so it just kind of comes to this point where this this dude who mods 2FM who's been doing it for a long time, called Zad. I can't pronounce like his entire username, but
it's like Zad DGX. Something
yeah,
like
Zad GX or something like that. Here, I'll go ahead and just link it in the chat. This dude, if you look at any of his stuff, it's like, it's pretty absurd. And for what feels like the last year, he's been working on one singular mod, where he's been trying to create like an entire moveset, like an entirely new character, like separate from Sora and shit like that, with like different drive forms, different everything, different movesets, different magic, all this crazy shit. And I thought that was gonna be it, but then it dropped, and I realized, holy shit! Not only did he do that, he changed like just enemy encounters. He changed the enemy AI as well, and just like their moveset. He changed like so much about the fucking game. And there's like 3 secret bosses in the game too. Like, let me try and put this.
I'm hoping no one like tells me what they are. I'm genuinely excited.
I don't know what they are either.
Like, I've barely been watching.
Let me put this in perspective for you guys. Like, there are near 20 extra bosses in the game. I think if you include the absent silhouettes and the data org and everything, there are 20 new bosses into Final Mix. And on top of that, this dude is going to throw in not 1, not 2, but 3 new bosses, like from scratch, into the game, into his mod, and be like, you know what, you find it and have fun. Good luck, dude. Like, I've been playing it for the last 2 days, and goddamn, dude, I get salty as fuck at certain points where I'm just like, this is some bullshit. But goddamn, like, I have to give the dude props, dude. You appreciate the amount of workmanship and craftsmanship that goes into basically remaking the entire game. Like, imagine a Pokemon ROM hack, but it's 2FM. Like, it's literally just a new moveset.
That's a good way to put it. It's like kind of an extreme overhaul of the whole game.
Yeah, it is. It is so, like, the fact that 2FM is actually even able to allow this sort of thing to happen, and it's not just like rejecting it and crashing it every single moment. It's like held together by like duct tape and glue and shit. Like, it's barely holding on, but it's just holding on enough for it to be like one of the coolest experiences you'll ever have.
Well, and he's been really intricate about, and there's just little bits I've seen, because I saw a bunch of the Roxas portion, and I saw earlier when you were fighting Dymix and things like that. It's really all I've looked at so far until I play it myself. And I like that he includes documentation of like, hey, you know, don't open this before this part or else it'll crash. Don't do this. Like, he's mapped out a lot of places where you can follow through. And he even goes as far as redoing all of the tutorial text during the Roxas session to point out things about the mod that you should know, and other little changes and whatever else. And I'm like, this man really did fucking overhaul everything, and just in a very fluid manner. It's really just it's really intricate and really cool. Yeah.
It's like a birthday. I didn't even know it was my birthday, dude. But like this birthday present, just like, hey, dude, here you go, fucking new game. Just try this shit out. So
also, yeah, it's April 1st, but we're not. This isn't this is a real thing. This isn't.
No, this is no meme. No memes. Like, you want to
pull any bullshit.
Okay.
I hate this goddamn holiday. I'm not gonna fucking start doing that shit.
No, there's a lot of things that should be.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we'll get to that. Trust me, I've been angry too. I've been angry today too. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I knew we were gonna get to it.
Yeah, we will.
There's a lot of things that should have been fake.
Just to kind of cap it off, that's like the link to the final entry, and he keeps his installation guide unlisted just because, and it's in the description. This man's already, it's like been 3 days, I think, since the release of this mod, and he's already making like balance patches to the game where he's just like, he's watching. First of all, it's buggy as shit.
Yeah.
And second of all, he's actually like watching. he's like watching people's playthroughs of the game and taking input, and he's like, okay, well, I don't want the game to be like not fun, which is like is so commendable. Like that.
He cares about the game more than Square Enix.
Yeah, no. When people are gonna like take the time and they're like, okay, well, you know, I definitely was able to get through this part, but if it's giving you guys like a shit ton of trouble, the Scar fight, then yeah, I might want to change some things about it. So like that's the sort of shit where I'm like, man, that this is a breath of fresh air, dude. What the fuck? I didn't even know this existed. Common courtesy for the player. Holy shit.
I even saw him because I saw him like saw him talking to y'all in your Discord yesterday actually, and there are even little things like, I think that's actually more of when you were on stream. I can't remember when, but there was some talk about how like certain effects were just a little too overblown during certain points. I think especially during like the what's that drive?
Ersatz.
I love all the naming and shit. It's really fun, but it's like there's just some stuff where it's like it gets between all the different effects of the hits and the sparks and little things coming out. It's like a little too much, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll try to tone that down." I'm like, "Oh, dude," he's like, "That's cool. that's really that's neat. That's cool to be like, oh look, he's like listening and being like, yeah, I should pull that back."
It's really cool that he can look at his work and be like, yeah, I can work on that. Yeah, I can fix that.
Oh,
yeah,
with the amount of fucking detail and like time he spent, I'm not surprised at all that he'd at this point put it out and be like, okay, how can I make it better from this point on? Instead of it being a case where, and I've seen some people in certain like modding communities and things like that do this, where they'll spend like a year and a half completely overhauling something game or adding this or modding this or whatever. They put it out. People be like, hey, it keeps crashing there. It's like, well, I'm not updating it, so. And like they'll get an attitude and shit, or like it's like, hey, I don't know why you changed this to that. And it's like, well, it's just the way I wanted to do it. Some people get really weird attitudes about that kind of shit because I guess they put so much time they don't want to do any more work. Whereas this guy's like very much like, no, the mod's out, but I'm not done. You know, so like any feedback is good. He even mentioned that earlier in chat, BB. He was like, no, really, any feedback is good. I want to know how to make this better. So I'm like, mad fucking props to this dude. Like seriously.
And I'm
really flattering.
and I'm blunt as fuck too.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on stream, I'm just like, dude, this is fucking bullshit. And people in chat are just like, whoa, dude, you're like taking it way too far, or like, oh, dude, maybe you just need to get good and like shit like that. And then Zad is just like, okay, well, I mean, like if it's like, if you think that it's like genuinely not fun, then I'll definitely like look into it and see about shit that I can change. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, and I always feel bad like going overboard and just like shitting on like somebody's work and just being like, dude, this fight should, I would almost just like, rather you just not have this fight in the entire thing. And I'm like, I feel bad being that blunt, but yeah. And like what you were saying about the like people getting like egos or just like I'm not gonna change anything about the mod.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story, because I used to know this guy. He used to make Pokemon ROM hacks, and his name was what is it? A Sinister Hooded Figure, and he made like Gen 1 ROM hacks, I think. And I play tested one of them, and this dude, between each gym, there would be a 20 level difference. Like you would get to gym 1, it'd be like all level 20s. You get to gym 2, it'd be all level 40s.
Why?
Like, and he just did that. Like, and then you would get to like the end of the game, and then at the Elite Four, you know, or like you 99. Know, the Elite Four would be all level 90s and level 100 on Gary Oak or whatever. And I was just like, this is fucking stupid. But he was so adamant about it. He was like, no, like this is. You know, this is difficult. This is challenging for people. I'm like, dude, forcing people to level grind every 15 minutes until you like power grind 15 levels higher so you can actually challenge the boss is not fun. I don't know what the fuck you're on, dude.
It's not it's not as convenient or comfortable of a game to where you can say like, oh yeah, dude, you can just, you know, don't grind and like now there'll be more of a challenge. Like, no. It's Pokemon, dude. It's Pokemon. I'm a little more limited than you realize, I think.
The only thing that matters is your level.
To go from that to like this guy who's like, oh wow, okay, so like I might want to like change a little bit about, I'll change like the visual effects. And I was talking about like the air combos and how I couldn't really discern between different bits of the animation and different parts of the combo, but I could with the ground combo. It felt a lot more smooth. I was like, okay, I know that I'm in hit 3 and I'm about to reach the finisher, so I'm going to instinctively do like one of the attacks, like the finishing leap or the normal finisher. But I couldn't do it with air combos. And he was like, okay, so what do you think it is about it that's like weird? Is it the animations? I'm kind of weird about like changing the timing or how quick the animations are, because I don't want like bad KH3 floaty combos and shit like that. So he's like really responsive to that sort of shit, and I was just like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like,
Who are you?
who?
It's cool, man.
Like, I know who you are, but
dope.
like nobody does this. Like
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is a new thing for me. So
But
Anyway,
this man
that's-
charges Square Enix.
no, seriously, people wanted to give this dude. They were like, "Can I pay you or something like that? Can I like
Do you have a
support
like,
you in some way?"
I would like for him to. I would if he had a Kofi or a coffee
Ko-fi,
or something like
yeah.
that. I think those people say Kofi, but I would drop some money and be like, hey man, thanks for the
Like-
free fucking DLC update. Appreciate it, dude.
Thanks for the free FM.
I know. It's probably gonna be a lot
Final.
more fun than KH3s will be.
Like imagine
BTR
imagine
back.
just getting imagine getting Virgil like or just like a completely new character in 2FM. It's just like, yeah, Aceuhh or fucking Square is just like, yeah, let's just drop in a new character, it'll be great. Like, what? Like, nobody fucking does this, but like somebody who modded the game if you're willing to do it. That shit's dope. Oh man.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy.
All right, Vash. Devil May Cry news happened this week. Yesterday night.
Boy, did it.
Boy, did it.
What happened, brother? Give me the
Okay.
breakdown. Break
So-
it down for me.
To catch everybody up, Devil May Cry 5 is a good game. No, actually, no, fuck it. It's a good game, but I don't care about it. I'm bored to fucking tears playing this game for the most part. And there were a handful of system level gameplay level changes that I would have loved to see implemented into the game.
I didn't miss it. Okay.
Over the course of a series of content updates, one of which we knew about being the Bloody Palace update, which was dropping the 1st of April. It's the 1st of April. Shit was supposed to go down raw, but... No, son, that shit didn't happen like that. So, a lot of the... among the system level changes and things that are outright missing from the game, one of them is the old concept of the buffered reversal. So for those of you who don't know, Devil May Cry, sort of similar to a fighting game, but not exactly. Actually, it is similar to a fighting game in the respect of if you've ever done a command normal in a fighting game, you have, it's not like a window of you doing a quarter circle forward. It's more like as long as you're giving a direction on your stick and you push attack button or gun button or jump button or you press button, you get special action that is different than if you don't do that when you push button. So, all that shit's popping off. And the way it used to work is that these directional inputs would only go in the direction that you were facing at the time you pressed lock on. Now, the interesting thing is that depending on the timing that you gave the input for your next action, you would be able to push button and release lock on and change with the analog stick the direction that the character was facing. So that when the attack came out, it would be able to go in, it would change relative to the direction that the character was facing. So moves like Stinger, for example, which is like the forward stab attack. Normally, that shit's only going one way, but depending on how you move the stick after you push button, you can go left, You can go left, right, up, down, fucking at an angle. You can go whichever fucking way you want. And that shit was super cool because it added layers of utility to every move pretty much that was a directional input attack, save for a couple that were forced single direction attacks. So moves like like Nero Shuffle had new utility because you would be able to normally, if you were fighting Kratos, right? Kratos here, I'm here. And I shuffle, which is his move where he dashes back, he has iframes, and then he shoots forward and attacks with it. You can jump cancel or roll out of that backdash state. And with the reversal, since you can change Nero's direction to be facing away from your enemy, that causes what's normally a backdash to go towards your enemy. So now you have a jump cancelable gap closer going in any direction that you want to, provided you have the execution to do that.
And it's sick.
It's sick as fuck. It adds a lot of not just fringe case utility, but it changes the way you can approach a shit ton of moves that otherwise would be a little lame. A good example of that would be Dante's backslide in DMC4, which is the shotgun attack where he shoots behind him in Gunslinger. That shit, I can count on one hand the number of times I actually used that attack in the way it was intended, which is I'm going to hit a demon behind me and I'm going to get it the fuck off of me because, like, I just don't want to deal with it normally. Like an attack's coming and I don't want to deal with it, just get the fuck away from me. I do it and it does that. For the most part, that attack is very, very, very fringe. But when you introduce the concept of reversals into the equation, suddenly you can use it just like a normal shotgun blast, but it looks a lot sicker because Dante just fucking whips around and like looks away from the demon, shoots behind him. And it was used quite frequently as a very stylish finisher. And it actually got additional utility because it was just a cool way to implement an otherwise boring move. And that's just one of the reasons why reversals were cool, because moves and aspects of weapons that were normally a little lame or just weren't that noteworthy suddenly could have a lot of different uses depending on how you approached the situation that you were in. And it was like mid-tier execution in order to get it out. So the way that it worked was that you needed to lock your character down into a recovery state of some kind, where you could be fucking mashing 1,000,001 buttons that shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this controller. Fucking D-pad's broken. I'm about to smash it against the wall. You could be fucking hammering a bunch of fucking buttons, and like it's not going to come out. You're locked in an animation state. Towards the end, the ass end of that animation state, just when you're about to regain control of your character, that's sort of the range when you want to give your next directional input and start turning your character in the direction that you want to go. Now, what's important to note about this is that some actions that have recovery don't necessarily have the same timing for when you would give your reversal input. So you have some things that recover quite quickly, like gunshots, and then you have something that has a its, I guess, window for recovery somewhere in the middle of like an awkward animation. Which was like a taunt, for example. You could buffer out of a taunt, which was something that was really fucking cool, but it was also really hard because you had to have an individual approach to timing every single one of the taunts, which the game would select a random taunt from a set pool within your rank, basically. So you had to have extensive knowledge of all that shit just to get certain buffers out. And also the move that you were trying to buffer into played a role as well, because a back forward input, it's not as simple as like your timing is forward and then to the right for like if you want a stinger going this way. If you want to do something like a reverse shuffle, you have to anticipate that window a little bit harder because you have to have the time to get the back to forward input in there for shuffle, then release lock on, and then change the direction of shuffle whichever way you want to go. Like, that little amount of execution added a lot of like training time, like you learning how to play the game and learning more things just to open new options to you. But it really wasn't, it was by no means frame perfect, not at all. Individual timings were handled on their own basis. You could buffer out of a wide variety of things of varying difficulty. Some of the easiest things to buffer out of and most consistent were gunshots. Some of the hardest was like the recovery window out of a base jump. Like, but it was a gradient within that. It was like a gradient like jump canceling.
Mhm.
Some things like air raves or foot dives are relatively easy to see the window for. However, something like a shotgun, well, used to be, something like old shotgun JCs or ecstasy JCs were a bit harder because you had to have very precise positioning and timing in order to hit that window. The same logic applies to a reversal. And we, like, with every change that was introduced in the move from DMC4 to DMC5, there were a lot of things like gravity, game speed, player turn speed, physics relative to the ground, land canceling, that didn't function exactly like they ever did in DMC3 or 4 or even the reboot. And reversals were no exception. They had more strict, well, they just had different rules to them, but the functionality of being able to take a directional input attack that normally would only work one way and being able to redirect the direction of action, that functionality existed in DMC5, and it was it introduced the same concepts, you know, case by case knowledge and training, individual pockets of high execution, and a slew of new utility to a single character's move list. And then full build came out, or somewhere along the line, one of the pre-release builds had the way buffering worked changed to where now there was no longer a buffering window at all, and suddenly you could not reverse directional input attacks as long as a demon was on screen. It would always go in that direction.
Yeah.
And people were concerned, reasonably, because, you know, it was one of the main draws of DMC4 and 3 for that matter, is because suddenly, like, everybody had the same tools, yeah, but even though everybody had the same weapons and shit, they all didn't have to apply them in the same way. Like,
yeah,
you know, not a whole lot of people would do shit like fucking reverse shuffle going forward. Like, I reference that a lot because that's what I do as a Nero player. That's my game flow of movement with Nero in DMC4 and in DMC5's demo. But anyway, 5 comes out. It has its own spin on this concept, and it was good. It was very enjoyable. It had some new possibilities because there was now a recovery window out of jump canceling, which, yes, it did make you know, jump canceling a little bit easier, and it made it a little bit more restrictive because there was a longer wait between JC in and your next action out. While that was a bit of a trade-off, you also got the possibility to buffer out of a jump cancel now. So suddenly you could just be a Nero player, being on top of a demon, JC, and use that buffer to reverse caliber or reverse split in whatever direction you wanted to, without needing to buffer with a sword slash or a gunshot or one of the breaker moves. So that's gone in full release of 5. People were concerned. Questions started getting raised, and after a lot of radio silence, finally during the release stream for Bloody Palace mode, one of the game's updates, they finally fielded the question.
Well, they fucking did.
Oh boy, howdy they did.
That was today.
That was today. That was this morning. I woke up to that shit.
Yeah, I did too. my ass woke up. I looked at my phone. I watched the clip, and I was like, "All right." I went downstairs, just got a bottle of water, and was like, "I'm just gonna clean." And I straight up just like, I'm just gonna fucking channel my frustration into just all this shit.
So, for those of you who missed the explanation given, where some people, you know, the first clue that something was off was when the street writer, shout outs to him, by the way, great dude, very positive community liaison, he deserves a raise, fielded the question, and he insinuated that it was a known piece or a known concept of tech that was knowingly removed from DMC5. So already, like, just a couple seconds into the clip, we're already setting off alarm bells. But Matt Walker speaks, and he calls it a bug, which technically, I guess you could deem it a bug, understandable, unintended, you know, interaction of the system, fair play. I don't see how that's fucking relevant, whatever, who gives a shit. So it's a bug. Good shit, good on him. He says that the reason why it was deemed an actionable bug, worthy of removal, was because QA testers would occasionally do directional inputs in the wrong direction. So instead of saying, "Get good," they removed it. They removed it.
The execution, dude.
And it's gone. It's gone.
What I want to know is how how do you unless you're really face rolling those fucking buttons.
That's what I was thinking about immediately.
Consistently, whether if it's like one or two players or a bunch of different players, and I doubt it's a bunch of different players. Unless they just got a bunch of fucking mashers, like hard mashers. I'm talking like, my ass never played a game. I look like I'm in that fucking Wizard movie, just smashing like one of those little fucking kids playing Mario 3. Like, if you say it's like two or three dudes out of like a bunch, who are just like, you know, maybe, you know, because I don't know how live that shit goes. I don't know how QA goes and all that kind of stuff, but I can ascertain from some companies and from some situations that maybe they get a variety of different people who have different experiences and different play styles and things like that, so you can see how it's going to go. It's understandable. If you get the people on the lower, more casual end who are just like hitting shit, don't know what they're doing, how are you somewhat consistently enough for it to be seen and observed? Yeah. Accidentally doing reversals. And I don't know if this is just a case of like, we're just past that point. Right, well, as just in terms of just how we play games or whatever, but it's just that it's in itself is weird to me. But also the fact that, and this maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but when I think about how self-aware enough they've been to have all these talks with the community, all these observations from them, like the developers and producers, and even commenting on like names they know of in the community and things like that. And whatever else, and that aspect of the game and its lifespan being a presence and being an important factor, even to the point where you put in a fucking, you know, basic bitch little training mode, for those people, and yet you don't even at least have an option in there to say, hey, if reversals are giving you a problem because you're face rolling the buttons, you can turn this off, but for everyone else, just turn it on because it doesn't fucking hurt anything. And it's been an established thing for such a long time. Like, it's weird to me. Maybe that's asking too much. But
well, just think on, like, when I think about how that input chain would have had to have gone down, you don't get, okay, unless we're talking about the forced reversals like EX streak or fucking backslide, any of this Welfare Wednesday shit.
Yeah.
If you step outside of the Dollar Tree and you want to reverse a high time or a high roller, which is probably what people were doing or something, some equivalent, you would have to constantly be blinking lock on and off. And doing just wild fucking stick movement.
Which even for like very basic players who have at least somewhat understanding of any game that they've played in a 3D space that has some sort of lock on, which there are a lot of, typically you either, you kind of have it on or off. You're not typically hitting the button unless you just mapped it weird and didn't know what you were doing and you were accidentally hitting it when you didn't realize it, and you're just like, you're just like flicking it on and off, because that was my initial thought. It was like they would have to be hitting so much shit that they're even mashing lock on and just different directions to get accidental stuff. But even then, like, I sat down with my controller like about half an hour ago, or not half an hour ago, about, well, what time is it now? However long ago before the cast. I sat with my controller and I was trying to think about how to do it, and I just started like mashing certain directions, certain things like that in order to think about how it would come out. I'm like, I didn't do this when I was 5. I didn't do this shit when I was 15, like trying to fuck around, learn games. Like, how do you, it's weird. And I'm not going to act like, people can't fall into that kind of thing, but
yeah,
it's bizarre. It's just really,
it could
really
like
bizarre.
it could have been something where they were trying too hard to like just fuck with the pad in any way they could. Like maybe they were trying, like I don't know what the QA process for the game was, but I did notice it was odd that Matt never translated the question to Itsuno-san, but the fact that he just so immediately responded to it was like, this seems like well-known, not like the fact that the Street Writer purported it as a known thing that was deliberately removed and Matt didn't challenge him on it leads me to believe that it was a known thing and they did this intentionally. If that's the case, where the fuck to even start with this? Like I mean, okay, the most obvious one is that they open themselves up to the discussion of, like, okay, the reason why it was removed and why it being accidental is a problem is because they want to ensure that the game is as intentional as possible. What's the right way to put this? If I would love to hear how reversals were pegged as a significant enough issue to impede intent, as opposed to something that would further intent, instead of like calling out the fact that they have multiple automated things in Devil May Cry 5 that do what they want, when they want, however the fuck they want. Like, one of the most prominent examples in my mind immediately is Overture, because that's a devil breaker that does its, well, I'm not going to say it does its best. It's supposed to do a version of a blast going either up, down, or depending on where the demon that you're closest to, like it's trying to read that situation and it's trying to give you a good response to the situation you're in. Basically, it's trying to read your mind. And
Bash, real quick, if you can, sorry, if you can hold that, I'm gonna change the server because like I'm getting a lot of lag from you.
100%.
So give me 1 second, guys. Just fix this real quick. I'm gonna try this one.
We good?
Yeah, should be good.
Okay. What was I on about?
Oh, yeah, Overture.
This, I won't even say that Overture has a 50% accuracy rate. It just straight up, it doesn't know what the player's going for a majority of the time. So depending on how you're reading and responding to a situation, the arm will just outright not do what you intend it to do. Like if you're having a demon, fall into a waiting relaunch, first off, you have to have the fucking relaunch version of the arm come out with enough time for the hitbox to collide with the demon. So you're like setting up for it to bounce into it. But for the most part, if the demon is too high up when you go to initiate that interaction, you'll just get the forward one. And like, and then again, like, I'm fucking sitting here like, why on earth would you have the turn speed be as low as it is if it's all about intent? Anyway, oh yeah, and camera issues. Lots of camera and lock-on issues in DMC5 as well. And this is something that, to Tarutus's credit, he actually sat down as a keyboard player, and so there's no room for error in the inputs being given. He quite literally just did the cut-ins right with Gunstinger and just mashed it. And the result that he got was that depending on how fast the camera was able to keep up with Dante's rolling, the game would occasionally read an input right as an input back.
Yeah.
Because it's literally panning too slow to keep up, so it's misreading the angle of what you're intending to do. That got in completely fine. All that QA testing, directional inputs fucked, not a problem. I cannot tell you how many fucking times I will like cross a demon up as Nero, give a back input thinking that I'm going to get split, only for this motherfucker to just come in and a fucking just fucking dive bomb it at an angle, because what it was reading was a fucking pay line input. It's just this kind of shit. I have no idea how on earth it's acceptable for these issues to get in, either conceptually in Overture's case, or technically in the cameras and input readings case, these things that are fucking with player intent. And reversals are apparently happening frequently enough for them to get Shanghai'd the fuck out of there. That makes the least amount of sense I think I've ever fucking heard. And of course, the Twitter clout chasers came in,
as they do,
because why wouldn't? As they do,
as they do,
to fire off a bunch of shit. None of them are players, of course. That you can't expect people to actually know or want to know about.
Hey, that's the light. Hey, man, I lived that. Dragon Ball exists. Every time they announce a new character, another Goku.
That's actually a great point, pretty motherfucker. I didn't even think about that. The number of times that, like, since you're letting go of lock-on so frequently, and you're re-engaging lock-on, the number of times it'll just fucking ping, ping, ping all the fuck around the place. That shit gets allowed in all the time. It's not fucking reading who, it's not locking on to who I'm trying to see. It's just fucking, it's a shit show. Like, the reasons why it's so fucking tilting, like, obviously it's because it's restricting the level of creativity that players can apply to the existing kit. That's not even up for, like, question. It's like, it's quite literally people before were able to take the same toolkit, the same move, and apply it in so many ways across so many different interactions that players had such an easy and obvious way to personalize their gameplay. And that mentality could have very easily come in and been applied to 5. Very easily. We knew how it would have been, too, because it functioned differently, yes, but it functioned in its own way that still allowed players to come up with creative applications for moves in 5. We know this because motherfuckers like me were playing the demo, and consistently, and training the demo. And when the full release comes out, that shit's missing. It's just absent. And the reasons given, it's like, if there is no official statement given that says that Itsuno didn't get a chance to give the full story, and that Matt Walker misspoke somehow, somehow this internal knowledge goes off the radar, like just two fucking minds meet, and they both lie at the same time or just have misinformation, if that miracle happens, which is giving the benefit of a fuck of a lot of doubt, then maybe it can be saved. But as of now, I think that between the concessions made for the art style that have impacted gameplay responsiveness, which they've admitted themselves through every time they have to talk about this uncanny valley of action, to their just out and out misunderstanding and misrepresentation of what inertia was and how it could be applied, and the fucking whack explanation that they gave there, to the fucking hill they chose to die on with no Devil Breaker swapping. Still waiting on all that strategy, by the way. And now this. Now fucking this.
Oh, fuck.
It's just like, fuck, man. Come on.
Oh,
like, what's
God.
going on? It's, you know. Oh, and also the Clout Chaser, you already know it's fucking Invinian. Don't fucking pretend.
It always is. It always is.
Like, and... Hold on, I'm playing DMC4.
Actually, if it makes you feel any better,
Uh-huh.
you know, I think this little fortune cookie notice, this little piece of paper I got inside fortune cookie from good old Panda Express, definitely wants you to have a little more faith in good old Matt and Capcom, because it says you will place your trust in others and be rewarded. So
I would laugh.
All that strategy is going to come in that update that we're never getting, because this is it. But
I thought they were supposed to make Virgil playable too.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so now since fucking goalposts are on fucking wheels these days, you missed the bloody palace window. Hey, buddy, whenever you fucking make Virgil playable, absolutely, buddy, we can run this shit back. Like, I was thinking about this well, obviously I was thinking about this all day. I was at school and work. I couldn't tell you what the fuck we did. It doesn't make much sense to me that DMC5 doesn't have a hardcore mode. And the reason why is because, like, okay, let's pretend that the complaint of intent is, like, legitimate. Like, that's actually the reason that they're going to give, and that's the hill they're going to die on. Bootyful. Why the fuck then do you let players hang themselves with options like irregular full custom with Dante? Why do they let Nero play? Well, we know why fucking Nero players can go into missions with no fucking Devil Breakers, but that's neither here nor there. Why do they give players these options that deliberately hamper themselves but open up opportunities for creativity and expression, provided they put enough work in and are comfortable enough to execute on it? But we just standard don't allow, like, okay, whether or not the discussion of turbo mode not being in the game as a technical limitation, that shit's never going to be fucking explained. But, like, let's say it was just left out because we want to have everybody just flatlined across the same basic game speed. Something that's light, slow, feels like you're playing drunk, no worries, no fuck-ups. It's the dollar store, fucking Welfare Wednesday. It's first of the month, every day of the month. Here we go. If you want to rock that, sure. But why can't the same logic that gave us 7 devil arms and 6 gun slots at a time be applied to, hey, here's this system that, while yes, it was executed apparently accidentally by people, you can also learn it, master it, train it, and execute it consistently every time you want it, and get all of this utility. All of these new options. Where's that shit? Fuck, boy. It's the redemption arc, dog. Don't even fucking talk to me. Ah, dude, it's like
Marvel Force coming soon.
oh,
I had a dream. It was in my dream last night.
Oh
How
shit!
was that?
Here
no
we go.
memes. No memes. Marvel 4.
No
was a legend.
memes?
It was
Alright.
sick, dude.
I don't know.
did the
I had a
sickest
dream too.
Dante
You already-
combo I've ever seen, dude.
I had a dream too. You already know what happened though.
What
It
happened?
looked a lot like
remember,
a Marvel.
remember when I talked about how I had that really extremely vivid dream about how I was watching Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and it looked super sick, and I was excited. But then the camera started panning back, and it was a screen, and it panned back farther, and it was a phone, and then Marvel vs. Capcom Mobile came on the screen, and I woke up sweating.
Crying.
Oh yeah, and by the, like everybody was speculating. I even fucking bought into the lie that fucking Bloody Palace was gonna have cameo support.
I
Yeah.
thought Bloody Palace wasn't coming out for another few days.
No,
No,
not today.
homie, April 1st. It's the biggest joke of them all.
There was all this stuff about
Like-
like, oh, these files have something regarding co-op and what this and that and the other, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And part of me was like, yeah, you know, maybe. I mean, that sounds like it would be a pretty neat addition. No,
Oh, it'd be sick.
no.
We wouldn't just be fucking playing a mission 13 all the fucking time. And then we could actually, like, you know, play with people that we want to play with when we want to play with them, instead of just hoping that even on our friends list we get our friends.
Well, that was part of me being more on the side of like, yeah, it'd be really cool, and I think they could probably pull it off. When I saw how limited and hardly existent it really was in the main game as far as just like those select missions, and really the only one where you're directly like actually able to just walk up to fucking people and be within a foot, rather than like
Yeah.
behind a fence or in the distance or whatever, it was that mission. And I was like, okay, maybe that's sort of a goofy little testing gimmick. And then they're taking some time to test the service out, whatever. Maybe that's why Bloody Palace is coming out later, because they want to test server structure and all this other shit and whatever. And no, it's just an arbitrary wait. It's all been in there. Fuck you.
Get fucked. What's funny too is that like hardly anybody who could have been playing it was actually playing it, because fucking of course you put the files in the game that's for the shit that's already done on PC early,
Yeah.
and then wonder why fucking everybody just hacks the fucking game anyway. Like if the reason you didn't put out a PC demo is so people didn't data mine the fucking game, fucking Earth to Echo, maybe you don't just fucking put your DLC in the fucking files.
I mean, look, this is the company.
Call me-
This is the company that had poor old Seth Killian go out in the interview room, in the space, whatever, all these mics around. It was like, yeah, Cross Tekken's a big project, and I know the character listing might be a little limiting for some people because some classic characters aren't in, but I mean, take a character like Blanca. I mean, we really don't know how any of an idea of how he would function in this system. So many characters like that. 2 days later, Blanca, 10 other characters, fully playable on the disc, came out later for $20. Eat shit.
Wow.
This is the same company.
They seriously did that to Seth?
Yeah. I don't think Seth quite knew. I don't think he wasn't
They
there, he wasn't
seriously
there
just
he wasn't there a
set Seth-
whole lot longer after that. This is shortly
He was the
before
sacrificial lamb,
he
dude.
fucking
I cannot
he
believe they
bounced
sent
out.
Seth out to his death, dude. Are you kidding me?
So I mean, you have the balls to be like, yeah, dude, I don't know how this fucking character would work 2 days later. It's like, nah, they're all on the disc. Forstner has to pay $20 for this fucking
On
character.
this DLC, dude.
I mean,
That's
it hasn't been, quite that extreme in a while, especially from Capcom. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
those
That was, like, the worst
little
of the
remnants
worst.
keep appearing where it's like, and I see this from so many devs where it's like, just don't put all that shit. I understand you're trying to like, yeah, I don't want to have them download all that shit later. It's like, well, then why the fuck are you so worried about putting out a fucking PC demo because you don't want to get data mine? Like, just fuck, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Or better encrypt your shit. I don't fucking know. I'm not a developer, but goddamn.
Well, no, I don't think that's actually a fucking like. It was an interesting day,
Yeah.
because like I always had this sneaking suspicion, and now if this is true, then I know for sure. Like I don't even really need to like do an interview series or anything like that to get the hard facts. The DMC4 was just a fucking accident.
Yeah.
DMC like there's falling dick first into success, and then there's Devil May Cry 4. I cannot.
It truly is the melee of Devil May Cry.
You know what's funny? 2B Power quit.
Yeah.
2B Power quit. Today in the Carpal Tunnel Discord, this motherfucker said, you know what? I'm uninstalling. I'm not reinstalling DMC4. I'm done. Like, it's like somebody was asking for like other relevant DMC news today. That's the takeaway. The boy 2B Power powered down for the last time. Welcome to the whole new fucking world. Welfare Wednesday.
Yeah,
Well, in you know, I could hit Vash. I could hit you with some lighter news. In fact, boys, I could hit you all with some lighter news. Got a little notification. Got a little notification on Twitch here. Not all who stream are as dedicated as you. You belong in a new class of streamer known as Twitch affiliate. Take part in this program and start earning on Twitch. Boys, y'all about to get some ads. Boy, every half hour, I'm running 3 ads, and I'm gonna split the pennies between all of us. We're gonna get ourselves some juicy fruit. We're gonna share a few sips of a Coke Zero between all 5. It's gonna be great.
Guys, what if we use the revenue from this to pay for GDQ? Like the rooms and the fucking snacks and shit.
You're assuming there's gonna be
revenue.
What if we use this like socially responsibly?
Very bold.
To where like if people are going to eat our fucking pistachio Oreos anyway, they're not coming directly out of
Wait,
or my
wallet. Wait. I have no. Okay, you know how I was talking like many casts ago, right after GDQ, about my whole plan to have like platinum memberships and all the cards and all that other different shit. Okay, what if instead, if you want to just be in the room, you have to subscribe to twitch.tv/dinner with the boys.
Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys. Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys. Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys.
Because it's already there. $5 sub, you get access to half a fucking solo cup of something, and that's all you get. If you're the $9.99, you get a handful of the, you get three thin pistachio Oreo cookies, and then a full drink soda, and then you can maybe have a half drink of alcohol, unless you're like 3 or 4 people I can think of. If you're in the $24.99,
like 6,
then shit boy, I'll suck your dick. Fucking A, if you give me $25 a month.
Everybody has a refugee. Like they get in for free. I vote Andre.
Yeah, no, he's a mod. He's allowed in.
Oh fuck. Okay, then Milla. No. Skate. Well, Skate we wouldn't fucking charge Skate.
No.
No.
Come on.
Twitch.tv/dinner.
I would love.
Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys.
I just imagine the velvet ropes that like lined outside of our room. You have Aceuhh just out there with the fucking Ahigao hoodie, standing there. He lifts the rope for Skate. Hey, come on, man. Zoim standing there. Hey, why does Skate get to come in first? Whatever. Hey, man.
What's that?
Hey, man.
You want in? Huh? Where's your Twitch.tv/dinner with the boys sub badge, dude? Huh?
Hit him with this.
We did get one of those buttons that plays the sound whenever you press it, so it just plays that fucking bass boosted Aceuhh sound. Just saying the logo. Oh fuck.
What's that, dude?
Discrimination against bum asses.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, you know, this shit would never fly in the anime suite.
Sweet. Dude,
no,
we're sweet. We are affiliates now. Now we need a Twitter, so we can put in our bio Twitch affiliate.
We do. Oh, yeah.
You can put it on the YouTube, dude. Twitch affiliate.
Dude, put it on the.
All the thumbnails is gonna have a little star.
I'm gonna make a Twitter. I'm gonna make a Twitter for us. Fuck it.
Go for it.
All right. Give me the assets. I need the pictures.
Oh
So,
my god.
Good shit, everybody. We did it.
Hey, we did it. We're affiliates, by the way.
Thank you for all of your support.
Still not sponsored.
Twitch.
Hey,
Still
well,
not
hey,
sponsored.
well, we
Twitch-
have a better chance now. Right?
Yeah, we're
I was
Twitch
thinking-
affiliates.
Like I can look,
was
I can look
thinking,
at, I
dude.
can
All
look
right,
at
what's
my.
up, dude? What was on your
Twitch has
mind?
these accolades.
We could get sponsored by Shantae5.
Ooh,
But Vash
yeah.
is blocked by Christina V on Twitter, so we can't.
I'm not blocked by Christina V.
I'm not blocked by
I'm
Christina
not
V.
blocked. I can look at her
What is-
profile
Where did this
right
come from?
now.
Where did this come from?
I'm with
You
Yeah,
Dax.
you were
you're
there, you were
logged
there
out,
with this
maybe.
meme?
Look, man.
I don't remember what the conversation was. It was on someone's stream.
There was
forever
no
ago.
conversation. There's
And Vash-
nothing.
And Vash was just
You're
like,
really
yeah.
adamantly defending it.
Dead. Yeah, dude, I'm 100%.
What are you hiding?
Look, Vash,
What'd
I am
you do?
100% sure.
We
can look
never
at
could get
Vash.
out of it. We never found
Vash.
out. what
Did
happened.
you?
Vash, I am
didn't-
100%
Wait, you got-
sure
you got on the
you
lo-
can look at her profile, signed out, dude.
You
No,
got
no, no,
you
no.
got on the you got on the loud and DM'd her, didn't you?
No, I did not get on. I was never smoking mid in Christina.
Please,
There was
man.
that other
Please.
night where you were just
Yeah,
off.
I'm trying to message you, man.
He
please.
hit
Shut the fuck up.
he
You
hit
high as fuck.
Christina
too,
V
man.
with one
I
of these.
was well, not after you.
He's the one.
But I
he's
wasn't
the one that
DMing
did one
Christina
of
V.
these. Please, man,
wasn't-
please. May I please private message you, please, man?
See, look, I can look at her profile right now. I'm signed
Signed
in.
in? Uh-huh.
I'm signed
Sure, dude.
in.
We don't know
Okay,
if he's
dude.
had this Twitter forever, though, dude.
Yeah, dude. Pseudo Twitter, sizable, like small Twitter account with the same profile picture. Okay, dude.
Hey,
What
sorry.
did Bonfire Lit have a Twitter, dude? Maybe hit her up on there.
No, I did not try to slide her in on the company email.
The company died.
The company dime, man. I did not embezzle resources for that ass. Definitely did not happen.
That was horny on me. To be
Hey-
fair, hey, I would.
Hey, I have no
man,
problem
to
being horny on.
Christina
Ask
as
Sue
well.
Lightning. I have no problem being horny on main.
There's
Yep,
no
yep,
problem. There's no
yep,
shame
yep,
in
yep.
DM and Christina V. There's a
There
shit,
is,
I don't
but
know
I
how,
didn't do
how you
that.
get blocked by her.
I didn't get blocked by Christina V. What
I wanna DM Christina V as much as the next guy, dude.
I used to when she had shorter hair. What do you want me to say?
Doesn't she have short hair again?
No.
She
No,
just
unless
did the
her.
Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
The fuck?
Uh,
is it?
Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Dude,
Forgot all about that.
I can't spell crunchy. What the fuck?
I'm just so happy that we're Twitch affiliates now. Now our careers are really about to take off.
Nos did make a good point though. I still haven't gotten any of the little bios I asked y'all to write up for the
Oh,
profile.
It's a meme at this point.
She
But not right.
did her hair
at this
again.
point, we're forever under construction. Right next to Twitch affiliate, we'll put under construction right next to it.
Did she
Oh, yeah.
have short hair again?
I don't know.
Oh
I
no,
don't
she had
think-
long hair at the Anime Awards, but it might be a wig.
It
She had
might
her
be.
knockers out though. I remember that one.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah. Nothing. Completely above board relationship. You can check the tapes if you think I'm lying. You can check the input history. We have replays with inputs displayed. Definitely did not. Even back in the Riven days.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Sure,
back when I
bud.
played Legal. What, dude?
Hmm?
Prove me wrong.
you don't have proof. You sound like a Persona villain, dude.
You do not have proof. of This.
So my fucking LA Noir.
Whatever, dude. I want to make the Twitter account right now. The Dinner with the Boys Twitter account, so we can link it by the end of the stream. We could plug it, dude. I need Dax's assets.
Hey, so aren't you making? I was thinking of it when you were doing the howdy man thing earlier. Aren't you making like an emote where it's gonna be some sort of like cowboy howdy man?
Oh yeah,
emo or something.
it's pending right now. Howdy, man. Howdy, man.
Howdy, miss.
Every time you see a nice
A nice
young
trainer,
woman,
nice
nice
full
young
art.
woman trailer, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. In one of my howdy, ma'am. Nice,
Bro, I
to-
seen
nice
that
to see you.
cowgirl
Welcome.
Zelda art earlier. Yeah, that was
Also,
howdy,
what
man.
if
It was very good. That was on my
Well,
timeline as well.
Why is nobody acknowledging the fact that I got a haircut? This is tripping me out.
You got a haircut?
We all like your new hat, Vash.
What the fuck?
I can't
What
tell
do you
what that-
mean I got it?
Oh, okay. Now I can. Okay, I could. Well, I couldn't tell with the headphones on.
Yeah, headphones kind of.
It's a little
obscure
pushed
things a
now.
little
Yeah,
bit.
no, I can tell more now.
Man, fucking. Goddamn.
Hairline's
I
looking
could-
good though.
I couldn't tell.
Hairline's
Vash,
looking good though, bud.
Vash, your haircut looking good, dude.
You know, fucking. You know the fuck, man. You know, we're out here. We're out here.
What, dude? You're looking alright.
Looking
You're
good.
looking clean. You're looking clean, dude.
Yikes.
Unlike my ass and my dumb ass on side.
poor,
Eh?
poor Vash.
This just ain't my day. You know, it's all right. Everybody has theirs.
Hey, listen, everyone. Last time they talked about BB's haircut, no one talked about mine. So shut up.
Because I
Almost
said
as
you looked
clean
high.
as
Well, you
Oxy
said you look
White.
hot as fuck on Twitter.
Yeah, but that wasn't on the
Don't
cast.
sponsor us.
But that's horny on. I can't
Yeah,
be
well-
horny on main twice.
Why not?
I
No,
mean,
let's
you
just
can't.
see
You know
stereotype, dude.
You were blocked by Christina V, dude. Why?
I did not get blocked by.
You sent her a
Christina.
dick pic or something, dude.
I did no such thing. Dick pics are
Probably
nothing
got,
more-
What do you think?
got blasted on that loud. Was just like Christina V don't like this.
I definitely did not
She
do
is
that.
very adamant about blowing up people that send her dick pics on Twitter.
But then that's how you know I didn't do it, because my dick would definitely be on her timeline.
But this is earlier times, dude.
Dude, where do you think she got that policy from? Anyway,
He started it all, dude. He's fucking
Dude,
I was the original
The-
man with the
the-
Dormammu dream.
Vash was the master of masters all along.
Oh,
Holy
shit.
shit.
What was in the box? My dick.
My dick.
That's my dick in a box.
And
Oh,
only Christina V can open it.
Only
Yeah.
Christina V has the key to my dick box.
Jesus Christ.
What?
But yeah, shoutouts to affiliate.
Shout outs to Itsuno,
Pretty
Christina
cool.
V.
Shoutouts to Christina V. Please sponsor us, Christina V.
Please sponsor us.
Please, ma'am.
Yo!
Please, man.
I'll get world record in Shantae 5 if she sponsors this.
Yo, if you do that shit, well, that's how you have to lead off. Like, hi, I'm a big fan. I'm one of your best speedrunners. I would appreciate.
Well, I already
it.
have a world record in Half Genie Hero, dude.
There you go.
Still?
Your foot's already in the door.
What's in the door? Dude, she voices Risky too. I'm good.
You're in there, dude.
She talks to herself. That's literally Shantae. It's Christina V talking to herself.
That is peak voice actor.
When you
The
have
only
to
characters
play-
that talk in the whole game are Shantae and Risky. Everyone else is not voice acted.
There you go. There you go. Please, ma'am.
Please, ma'am.
So-
Man, I please the private message. You really must have hit her with the full on like.
I got down on one knee and everything. Please, ma'am.
Please,
May I
ma'am.
have-
May I please private message you? Please,
Can I have
please,
permission to private
ma'am.
message you, ma'am.
It's always in
Please.
those two. That's always in the vroom vroom.
You got the fucking vibrations coming on.
Because
there.
you know their phone's blowing up with all the fucking other people they DM'd earlier. They sent that video out to saying, "No, I don't want your fucking whack ass in my DMs. Please leave." And that's what they're being hip with.
Private message you miss, please.
It's
The
one of the
beauty of that
funniest
fucking,
fucking videos.
the beauty of that video is that after he asked her, the sound of his desperateness just came out in that laugh. Please, ma'am.
That's gonna be me on July 27th because Carly Rae Jepsen's coming here on tour.
Oh shit, you going, dude?
I'm gonna be front line. Please, man, please, private message.
Jim doesn't even talk like
Can
that.
you-
He's gonna throw on the voice just for her.
I'll
No,
tell
can
the
you make a
voice.
poster? Can you make a poster with that guy on it? Just write out the whole thing, word for word. Please, ma'am, can I private message you, ma'am? Please, ma'am. And just like wave it. I mean, really fucking just like.
You gotta take off your shirt and pants too. You gotta be in the, in the front row. Just please,
front
ma'am,
row.
may I
Wear a
please
cowboy
private
hat.
message. Every time she looks in your way, get down on one knee.
I get on stage. Security's like, "Who is this guy, man? Please, private message you, man, please." Just
Please,
one message, man, please.
Please open your DMs for 20 seconds, please, ma'am.
Give it a timer for it.
Just 20 seconds, please, man.
Holy shit.
Close him up again. I got all your albums, miss, please.
Please, ma'am. I just want just one message, ma'am. I'll change your heart in one message.
Holy shit, dude. That needs to be a Halloween costume next year.
Just walk around your boxes.
You're down on one knee at every door. Please, ma'am, can I have some candy, ma'am? Please, ma'am. But you got the phone up still, so you have a.
Oh god.
So fucking stupid.
Oh god, we're Twitch affiliates now.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Now we're gonna be going up to Twitch. Please, Twitch, please just sponsor us, please, Twitch.
Please, Totinos. I'm gonna DM Totinos tonight. I'm DMing Totinos tonight. Nothing
Oh
but
my
some
God.
fucking
Please.
boxer briefs on and my phone.
Please,
Just
Totinos.
please, Totinos. Please, Totinos. Sponsor my twitch.tv/dinner with the boys stream. Please, Totinos.
I'll eat pizza rolls every goddamn week, dude. I don't care.
Every week, this dinner is sponsored by Totino's Pizza Rolls.
What do you have? Well, on top of my pepperoni flavored Totino's brand pizza rolls, I also took some shepherd's pie.
With some Totino's pizza rolls on top. Oh god, it's so good. Tape a bag of pizza rolls to your dick. I like the idea.
Good idea.
Pizza
I'll
rolls
change.
go with everything, dude.
And
I'll change
send a
my-
picture of it to Christina V.
I'll change my phone case to where it's just the Totinos
You might get
logo.
blocked from at that point.
Or I might
Again.
get put in the microwave, if you know what I'm saying.
She won't-
Maybe she'll open up her DMs for you in that case.
no,
Maybe she really likes Totino's.
she won't block me.
No.
If Dax gets in the DM successfully and I don't, I'm killing myself.
I'm kicking the fucking stool. That's
I'm
it.
kicking the fucking stool. It's over. I'll get one of those good hoses. Ooh, I'm fucking sick, nasty.
We need to get sponsored, boys. Like, who's on the
absolutely.
list? Who's on the list,
Solo
dude?
cups.
I mean,
Bert,
Asa, you always
Thompson?
Asa's
No,
always
no.
got the
I'll
DX
eat the
Racer
whole
logo.
stick, dude. Bert, you listening?
And that, well, Asa and Vash both have the DX Racer logo.
Well,
I got
on
DX
cam all the
Racer,
time.
Oh,
But
dude,
DX
fucking
Racer,
sweet.
dude, DX Racer never like really sponsors outside of like their big organization. You have to go to places like Secret Labs and shit like that. And they,
how about-
DX Racer?
There you go.
oh yeah, wow, DX Racer, holy heck!
I got the big ass office chair because I don't want that little fucking racing chair.
Yeah, well,
I've had this thing for fucking ever, and this thing was expensive, dude. Like over $1,000 expensive.
Jeez.
Everybody
holy
gets-
shit!
This chair was like $1,400.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
I've had it for like 6 years though. Still
Have you
working.
been making payments
And
on
my
it?
back has never felt better, dude. My old chair.
I remember your old
You remember my
chair.
old chair, dude?
Yeah.
It was like the back was like leaned back like this permanently. So I was always just hunched forward, and my back would literally just like kill me. At the end of the day.
Oh god, I remember you. I'd be like, "Hey, shit, what's going on, dude? My back hurt."
Hey, look, I don't play so much of this chair sucks.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
most chair sponsorships are like
Well, some of them are
Achex
like,
or whatever the fuck that one that Capcom has is.
well, sometimes, but like some of them, they just do like individual people or like groups and stuff like that. So I mean, we
Yeah.
could. Hey, I don't know. What do you, hey, Chad? What do you guys think we should be sponsored
They
by?
want to send me a new one for free, dude.
What? Hey, Chad, who should we be sponsored by? Who should we be sending the emails in?
Sure.
This is important. We're now Twitch affiliates, all right? We're big time.
We're kind of a big deal now, dude. Coming through. When we go to AGDQ, everyone's gonna get the fuck out of the way, dude. They're gonna know. Oh shit, those
Affiliate
are
coming
affiliates,
through.
dude.
Get the fuck out of the way! I'm a goddamn Twitch affiliate. Don't touch me.
How did it take this long to get the affiliate button?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, we only stream
Literally,
once a
you
week.
Turn on your stream, you get affiliate.
BB,
But
would you like to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 online while we have dinner?
After dinner, dude.
Fact.
No,
Does Fact
I'm-
still
I'm-
sponsor people?
Well, we're not having a long cast today, Vash. We're not going to be here for
Yeah.
5 hours, so.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here for long, so don't worry about that.
Dax has to go. To get
Uh,
his sister if it needs.
And yeah, like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour 50. So we got time.
I remember
But
Fact
yeah,
used to sponsor Trihex back in the day. They
H
still
Anime,
sponsor people?
H Anime, I'd love to get sponsored by those guys. Let me in. I want some of. Please, 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 IP ban me, please.
Bro,
What?
people like randomizers because they make roguelikes out of their favorite games.
What's a rogue? Okay, I'm gonna ask the dumbest question. What the fuck is a roguelike? Because I know people
That's
keep
not a
on
dumb
saying what it
question.
is.
It's not a very dumb question.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to
It's
think
a
of the best-
subgenre of role-playing video games characterized by a dungeon crawl through procedurally generated levels, turn-based gameplay, tile-based graphics, and permanent death of the player character.
It's like Binding of
So it's like
Isaac was like a staple one, for example, for
It's
a lot
like
of
a roguelite. That's what they call
Oh,
all roguelikes.
Binding of Isaac. Okay.
It's like Binding of Isaac. I mean, there's so many. Enter the Gun.
usually can't make
Enter the Gungeon is a really interesting one I saw.
The Gungeon.
Um,
Risk of Rain just came out as one. Or Risk of Rain 2 just came
Risk
out.
of Rain is one.
You
That
die, you
sells
lose.
as one.
Ziggurat.
How do randomizers turn games into roguelikes?
Because I would say
well, like roguelites,
Oh,
not
roguelites.
roguelite. So it's
I
like
would-
it spreads the items around so that it's a different
Yeah.
experience every time.
yeah, and if you die, you lose your opportunity at successfully beating that version of the game. That's a
And
challenge.
someone just made a Symphony of the Night randomizer, and now I want to play it.
Where's the DMC 4 and 5 randomizers?
What are you
And
gonna
3.
get?
Well,
Well, I don't know about what you. Actually, you could make it so the Devil Breakers are random. Well, it still doesn't matter, but strategy. You could make it so that your fucking devil arms and guns are randomized, and obviously enemies just fucking swap them the fuck around, dude.
Can you randomize bosses?
Not all of them. Like obviously Gilgamesh, that's a big dude.
Yes, he is.
Nidhogg, that's a bit. Well, maybe you could just warp to their chambers instead. I don't know, but
Maybe,
something like
but-
that.
I mean,
Man.
honestly, that wouldn't be. I don't think that would be too difficult.
No, it's just like that's just warp codes.
Bro, I
really all
love the
it is.
2FM randomizers. That shit was fun as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Man,
Well, when they're
I
made
never-
well.
I never got a chance to do item randomizer that Biz was working on.
Hmm.
He gave it out to like a select few people to test it, and it still hasn't been made public. Feels bad, man.
You should message him. Hey, brother, it's
I
me,
already did.
your brother.
Wait, you can't
I want
fight
it.
Gurion?
Hmm?
You can't fight Gurion?
What?
in Bloody Palace.
In Bloody Palace.
I want to try the Dark Souls randomizer too. There's a
Who?
bunch of those.
The horse with
Oh.
fucking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gary,
the Elder? Why?
Why
The,
not?
the elder horse that can what is it? Control time.
Yeah, why not?
Because DMC5 sucks.
Okay. That was a fun, that's a cool
Ugh.
boss. I
The
just wish
fuck
it
out of
wasn't.
here.
I just wish it wasn't fucking held behind
Vash,
V.
how does it feel to
fine.
have the dev of your favorite game series
Be a fraud.
not appreciate what you like about the video game?
It's understandable.
I didn't know he was a Kingdom Hearts fan.
I mean, no, it's completely understandable. There's one thing that I've learned throughout my years of playing a 3 out of 10 like it's a 10 out of 10.
Mm.
And that is that people are attracted to games for different reasons. Some people
They sure are, dude.
like me are there for the system, for the system first. Everything else, like you can play a shit game for 20 years as long as you enjoy the moment to moment gameplay enough, and there's enough for you there for replay value. Other people, they just if it doesn't grab them immediately, there's nothing for them there, and they gotta wait for the content as it's intended to really vibe with them before they'll stick into it. Obviously, you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. I think it's a very reasonable thing to say that DMC5 could have come out with 4's system and would have been the best game ever made. But read the tea leaves. Our whole fucking chapter of scientists have just adjourned the meeting. Wasn't looking like it was it today, Chief. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you know, boy howdy, does that shit suck. But I guess you just mod it, or wait for special edition and hope.
I guess you just wait for Devil May Cry for Vanitas mod.
Well, like between the two,
Hey man, they just modded in Nero's hair.
well, here's the thing. Between the two, I think DMC5 is a lot closer to being perfect. Not perfect, but like DMC5 is a lot closer to surpassing 4 than 4 is to surpassing 5.
Mhm.
Theoretically, I'll say that just because, like, if you
It takes so much
literally-
more for 4 to be
Yeah,
a
because
complete package than
you
it
have
is for 5 to just adopt the system.
you have to make so much new content, and it has to not be shit. And in 5's case, it's just fucking, you know, put reversals back in. Fucking land
Right.
canceling's more prominent. Gravity's fucking faster. Fucking camera's better. Fucking motherfucking breaker swapping, so I don't have to mod it in.
Right.
Fucking use enemies in any fucking encounter. Reversals, you know.
Here, I'm gonna ask another question. Because I saw somebody mention this, and I wanted to see how you'd feel about it. What if instead of acknowledging the absence of reversals and stuff, and like just the absence of a system like 4, instead of acknowledging it, they just were completely silent about it and they didn't say anything? How would you feel then?
Oh, I would probably, if it just went off silently, then eventually either way it ends the same. It's like, okay, statute of limitations, because
I mean,
the only
you would stop playing the game, but like, would you have different feelings towards Capcom?
Temporarily.
Temporarily I would just be like, you know, they just made a mistake. You know, they just,
Right.
you know, some programmer or whatever fucking flipped the switch and reversals got removed. You know, they had a couple, they wanted to take fucking jump canceling in a different direction that had its own they wanted to take transference of momentum through certain attacks in a different direction that had its own its own fucking responses. They wanted to take fucking landing in a new direction. They wanted to make a bunch of shit easier. Like, sure, whatever. It sucks, and I'm eventually going to be drawn back to DMC4 regardless, but it still leaves the potential of like, well, okay, the people who were making the key decisions were in the know, but when it came time for them to leave the project and move on to other things, that's just the way the dice fell.
Mhm.
Now, boy howdy, who gives a fuck? Yeah, it was a mistake. You know, DMC4 was an accident now.
Right.
I know that in my heart of hearts. I always had this suspicion, but now I look back at it and I'm like, you know, yeah, this shit it's a miracle. This shit didn't need to happen, but boy howdy, we're here. So,
Are you happy with your product, man?
well, I think so.
You fucking better be.
I got my money's
Reversal.
I got my money's worth
Please-
out of MC5.
Please, Aceuhh-san, please. May I please do a reversal, please, sir?
I mean, factually, I'm okay with my purchase in the same way that I'm like happy with my purchase of Bayonetta 2.
Right. Okay.
You know, it's like, yeah, like I like the game. I'll replay it a few times. Might even experiment with some stuff, but is it gonna
But the
be
lowering of what is it? The lowering of the skill ceiling.
the entry into the Dollar Tree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
redline me the fuck out of here. We're good. I'm all, you know, it's
At
It's
the
a
end of
game
the
that-
day,
it's a
Here's
game
the-
to it's
Go
a game to it's a game to flirt with, not to marry. That's the best way I can think to put it. Like
And,
there's
you know,
there's
and-
nothing long
and
standing.
in a sense, in the sense that's in your perspective, because there's people that went into DMC, same idea. Like, okay, gameplay's tight. This edgy motherfucker just kid to hold in this bitch. I don't really want to fucking play. I don't want to play this shit anymore, right?
You know, it's
and
funny.
then everyone went back to 4. Some Japanese players stayed on fucking DMC. No, it's going to be the same issue. It's going to be the same thing. People are going to stay on the game that they like to play. You're going to have a lot more new people playing 5 because, one, it's new, and it's easier to get into.
Oh, it's a fucking lot easier.
It's much easier to get into.
As to whether or not they're going to stick around, though, that's the interesting thing.
And that's what you just got to look out for, because, I mean, sure, it is 100% a given. Half the people that are streaming it right now will not stream it the next day. Will not stream it ever again. But that's just how it is. That's just how it goes. And will they stay? That's a fucking coin toss. Everyone stayed for Dragon Ball up until they started seeing Goichi. I mean, Kazunoko win every Dragon Ball. Now everyone just sits on Twitter and goes, "Another Goku."
Now Goichi's back though, dude.
Okay. I have like all these like these post fucking interview questions or whatever.
Go for it.
All right. I mean, the way that I see it is that, well, I mean, you admit yourself that like DMC4 was like a total mistake, or not a mistake, but like just an accident. The best kind of mistake. But shit like reversals, like, and just not being in 5 and it being a conscious decision sounds more like the devs are more concerned with you playing the game a certain way. Well, I mean, like, I guess maybe what it's more is like they're ashamed of having a bug be a staple of their gameplay system.
That's 100% why they got rid of the BXB and BXR and double shot in Halo 2 and Halo 3.
in that scenario, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I feel like BXR and BXB and shit like
Pussy.
That is like, that shit shouldn't fly, dude. That shit should not fly in a competitive environment. All right, like that's a bug that you should rightfully just fucking get rid of.
You're a
What is a
pussy.
BXR?
It's a glitch where basically you beat down, you cancel it with a reload, and then you can press R and your gun will shoot.
So you can one shot somebody by meleeing to get rid of their shields.
Yeah, and so in basically in a competitive aspect in Halo 2, where if your BXR didn't kill, you BXR XB 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 XB. And just beat down, because it was a 3-hit beat down in that game to die. So you're sitting there beating each other up for a little bit. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Your game was, you accidentally made the game fun.
You know,
but yeah, like just the fact that the main staple, a main mechanic of your system that's going to attract people to the game isn't what they intended, and it's totally an accident. It's a bug. It's probably what they're like ashamed of, and they're like, we don't want that in our game.
I don't, honestly, I'm not even sure how aware of it they, like, the extent of it they really are. Like, people were memeing about it in chat earlier, but the impression I get anymore is that it's sort of like the YouTuber thing where they're more than happy to make reference to and profit from the hard work of the dedicated player base that just accepts the system as it is, warts and all, and uses it as they will. But when it comes time to show that they understand or respect or anything like that for this high level shit that just... Because, look, players don't really... like, okay, idiots do, but players don't really give a shit if something is a bug. If it's a part of, like, in theory, if something's broken, it's broken, regardless if it's intentional or not. Like the BR smack thing.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter that it wasn't intentional. The fact of the matter is that people factually were capable of executing it consistently, and it, as a concept, like, completely shifted balance in matches. And as far as a game like Devil May Cry goes, you have things like distortion, things that affect balance, but realistically, these are the types of things that players just accept because they let them be more creative with the system. And if you were to ask somebody like, hey, reversals or bugs or whatever the fuck, like, but this is what helps you care more and get invested in Devil May Cry, like, I'm trying to think of a way to word this. Basically, what it comes down to is that if you try to, like, mainline people down a specific playstyle with a character or a system, like we were talking about last week, the difference between multitude of playstyles with fighting game characters in Street Fighter 4 versus the intended way that was baked into the character in Street Fighter 5, it's sort of that same mentality where just because something is unintentional, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be viewed as a mistake. And you know, with this being such an isolated incident, it's hard to say that this is their full mentality, because I was thinking about this today as well. What if they had found, like, if the team had found fucking this thing in DMC5 where if you like get low to the ground, like on top of the floor, because this game refuses to fucking land you in most cases, and you skystar the air dash into a demon, for some reason it'll give you the ground action, which is Mustang, even though you're still in midair technically, and it'll trigger Mustang, and you'll still go up in the air, but you'll go up in an arc, like you have inertia. And it's interesting because factually that's not the way that air exchange is supposed to play out at all. It's unintended. It's a bug. However, if QA testers somehow got themselves in that situation frequently enough, and that became just a thing that happened with, you know, relative frequency, I wonder if it would have made it into the final build. You know, the same thing could be said with I don't know, fucking pick a thing like breakaway masking out of Snatch, where like you fucking snatch, and just before the fucking wire snatch hits full extension and grabs the demon, you break away and it masks the explosion. If shit like that was like, okay, if QA testers complained aggressively enough, like, oh, I really just wanted to break away here, I wanted to do it defensively, and I, you know, if that had happened, then I could see them being like, oh, this is not what we want, this isn't how we want it to be, we want this to be based in intent, we want everybody to be playing roughly the same, all that shit. Then I could say, like, potentially there's an argument for them being ashamed of it, but I don't know. I don't think they really think of it. I'll be honest. I don't think that they even really acknowledge or respect the high level shit that people do, because they, by their own admission, they don't know players. Like Itsuno-san's favorite Devil May Cry player is Bree. It's not a bad pick, but out of all of the fucking people who's ever put extensive time into the game and released content, put themselves out there, made, you know, put their play out, you come up with somebody who peaked in the transition from DMC3 to DMC4, when you had players come out with arguably much more revolutionary gameplay since her, much more impactful and arguably more creative gameplay. Now, Itsuno didn't go into his reasoning for why, but he also didn't recognize Dongari's name, who's like the fucking household meme name for the style community right now.
Yep.
So if
you got Markman tweeting about you, dude, like
yeah, put two and
Justin Wong knows you.
Put two and two to fucking together. I genuinely don't think that they know or understand what it is we do, you know, or why we still play the games, why we even gave them support after they released shit like TMC4.
Right. And yeah, it's that sort of weird disconnect between devs and like high level players that, I mean, that's the sort of shit that's gonna like haunt me forever.
It calls because it calls so much shit into question. Like if I had a fucking dollar for every time somebody, whether verbally or in text, was like, guys, fucking Itsuno knows this shit. He knows what we do. He knows what you do. He respects you. He loves you. You know, the team loves you. They wouldn't fucking be here without you guys.
It's like you really think that?
It's like, is that how it be?
I mean, was there a stream I didn't see that had Matt fucking sit there and like let the scroll drop and read every name,
like
say thank you, hey Dongari, thank you, hey VashTSB. I mean, you know.
Was there the amount of times that people tweeted at me saying the dev team is watching Biscuit047's videos. They are going to change the gameplay so that it is more like 2 and it is more
irritating,
like free flowing. Like they are listening and the game is going to be great. You just need to give them a chance.
They don't fucking know who Biz is.
How do you insinuate that much and get that far up your own ass? Just say like, yeah, dude, I know everything that they're thinking based off of one premiere event where some people came in and said, hey, we don't like this, and they said, oh, hi.
It's like, oh yes, or to tell Biz or something like that, like, oh yeah, like we've like seen some of your videos about Kingdom Hearts, like to do that and then to go stretch it out to the point where it's like they're watching his videos and they are listening to him. And
they call him every night after his stream.
Oh, but I mean, these are
what can we do? We want the game to be good.
These are the people that were on fucking Reddit the moment that a lot of the Cage 3 gameplay stuff started getting leaked, where they showed the secret boss, and the guy who was playing it was like, "Look, this is the only boss that I could find." And they're like, "Oh, well, you know that day one patch that talks about the epilogue? That's definitely going to be like, it's going to be a whole playable world, and it's going to have all the bosses in it."
That's not a
and they come out with a tweet, and then Square comes out with a tweet, and then Square comes out with a tweet and says like, "No, it's just a movie." Where the fuck are y'all getting all this?
Dude, I don't know. And like, that thing pisses me off when people call that a secret boss. Look, dude, I didn't have to do anything to unlock it.
You just went to a place.
Well. I just went to place. That is optional boss.
Is there actually an optional boss? Like sort of post game in 3? Yeah.
There's one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's
one.
Yeah,
there's one.
Okay.
But it's a battle game, so it's not like when you walk into an epic area and you just like get a cutscene. You're just like, whoa, dude, I'm about to do something. It's like in BVS, where there's post game, there's those things just sitting around the map, and then you interact with it, and it takes you into an arena where you fight stuff.
Oh, like the absent silhouettes.
Yeah, it's just one of those, but but the secret boss is in there.
Like, you know how you go against Lingering Will or Terra or whatever?
Yeah.
And you go in there and it's just like a big ass cutscene. He's like, "Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck? Why you here? I didn't give you that. I'm gonna beat your ass now." Nah.
I guess what people are.
He's just standing there like, "I'm a heartless. Me hit you."
I guess what people are referring to is more like a story character that you aren't aware of right now, but will be important in later parts of the game or future titles of the series.
Right.
Bro, hit me up right now with a Roxas fight. Watch me come everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the Xemnas fight in 1. Like you weren't supposed to know about Xemnas until 2, for sure. And then Terra, you weren't supposed to know about that shit. Who the fuck that is until Birth by Sleep. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. I don't really care like whether or not it's like a secret boss or not.
No. That was just my court, my little court towards.
I just think that boss sucked in general.
Yeah.
No,
well, yeah, that's just the thing. It's like if this boss design is like, first of all, it brings the entire game into question. If this boss plays like this, why doesn't every single boss play like this? Why isn't the majority of your boss design like this? Like, it calls a lot of that into question. And then 2, it's like if this is the height of
the best you
your
can do.
design, if this is the best you can do, and
This
it's
is like-
not the best
This
you
is
can do.
this is the challenge. This is the real shit we're
It-
gonna hit them with.
It
at the end of
really
the
makes
game,
me
like,
mad that that
oh.
thing doesn't have a DM.
Yeah, no, it's missing so many like core elements of like what a cool secret, like extra boss
Like
it
Sephiroth
has.
would've been.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like the staple right there. That's like the definition. It's missing so many things.
Hmm.
And yeah, sure, it's hard, and then like it forces you to kind of like learn its patterns and shit. Like,
Look, I'm not trying to be a
But-
fucking like, yes, man, I'm an epic gamer, but like hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured it out in
And
5
you-
minutes.
No, I
It's
mean-
not like I didn't have to work.
It literally after the first 2 combos, if you don't know what to do against that character, well,
Just block and
you're not-
react.
wow. You just do 1 full combo and then hit him 3 times and then stop.
yeah,
No, I think the more hands-on devs are, the greater the potential is that they're just going to make bad decisions. Like I don't. That's
Well,
sort
it's
of a wrong way to word it.
Well, no, I mean,
Okay, well, I mean-
I get what you mean though, because there's I was talking about this before when it comes to a lot of like indie developers and things like that, especially those who have gotten more and more involved in communities for like speedrunning and things like that, because there will be stuff that's found where it will
Yeah.
benefit runners to a certain degree, and like maybe certain ones will still get taken out anyway because they end up being detrimental to the game, to the casual players, or it causes problems. Oftentimes, it ends up being something that more advanced players or speedrunners or whatever else can use. And it isn't detrimental to casual players. It doesn't cause any problems with normal gameplay. And the developers might take it out and they say, oh shit, well, on second thought, let's put it back in because we have a lot of feedback. Or they talk to the community from the get-go and say like, hey, now that this is out in the open, like, what do you think as a community, like, what do you think we should do? Because we made the game, but y'all are the ones who are finding this, so we want your input. We see a lot of stuff
I think
like that.
Hat in Time did something like that where like a
Yeah.
lot of people were really hyped and the devs were just like, yeah, we don't want this in. And then we were like, what?
Yeah.
Why take it out? What are you doing?
Well, and Hat in Time was an interesting case because you have stuff like that happening, but you also have stuff where there's like a built-in speedrun timer.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it's like they're very open, like where it's a case where it's like we want to similar something another game we were just talking about a little bit earlier, where it's like, hey, we want to we have an intentional way to play this, but we also want to show support to other people in these different communities and scenes or whatever who could play this game in this unique way that's for them, but don't go too far with it because we still have a very specific kind of intent that we want you to go by, which is not skipping the whole fucking thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they took out. Well, that one's weird because they took out the ending skip,
Yeah.
which apparently casuals were doing, but they added a hole you can crawl in the mansion that skips the entire mansion just for the speed run.
It's weird. I
Like
don't
you know the
about that.
mansion, you have to go in the mansion, and it's like the horror game and like the.
Is it? Yeah, no, I
the
know
ghost
that,
thing
but
walks-
is this something like you have to go out of your way to find it? That it's like
It's
an
not
intent.
that
It's
out
like
of the way. It's
like
just in the basement. When you're in the basement, you can crawl into a corner and you just skip the mansion and get the time.
well, put it this way: does it feel like an intentional exploit, if that makes sense, or if it's just like no, it's like
a secret,
it's a-
I guess.
okay, so it's straight up just like you're fucking going down the slide Mario 64, and then the penguin's like, what the fuck, you cheated, like that kind of like it's
It's
supposed
like-
to supposed to be there, like they
Yeah,
want
it's
you to
there.
find
The
it.
devs put it there
That's
so that you
weird.
can skip the mansion in the speed run.
That's a big chunk.
Yeah. And granted, that would be boring as fuck in a speed run, but like,
Yeah, but
I feel like
I guess.
that's still a huge part of the game that you could skip for free. That's
That's when you-
intentionally put there, and then they
Yeah.
patched out the ending skip which is way harder to pull off than walking and crawling into the hole in the basement.
well, that ends up becoming its own unique conversation in itself when it comes to speedrun aspects, because you have to look at what's going on in the developers, I guess, just cumulative head, where they're having to interpret concepts of speedrunning or what is typically expected of a speedrun within the context of the game that they're making, when so many people not only have different tastes in what they like about speedruns or what they want to speedrun, but also a matter of like what they prefer to see or what they even personally go against as far as like
Yeah.
what to them is a real speed. I've seen so many fucking YouTube comments all the time where it's like, oh, like you skip so much of the game, it's about like you're not even really playing what the developers intended you to play, so it's not a real speed run, that sort of thing. So now you're getting more into the developer side where it's like, oh, we'll put in this little skip so you don't have to do this really boring part, which would be boring in a speedrun sense, right? But you know, this big skip that y'all found, no, we got to take that away, and it creates a really interesting kind of dynamic there.
There are two things that are really important to note. I think first is that the best piece of like writing on games that I've ever read came out analyzing Brood War, actually, in reference to StarCraft 2. Yeah, because a lot of people on Liquipedia and just in general were like upset at the sort of linear, not linear, but like sort of the obvious chess-based, like the way strategy sort of overpowered technical execution and game knowledge on a systemic level in the move between StarCraft Brood War to StarCraft 2. And the way that this person outlined it is that the engine that StarCraft Brood War was working off of was the biggest pile of just duct tape, paper mache, and bullshit.
Yeah.
And to the point to where like the governing system that tried to intelligently place a unit on the in-game grid would get so confused if certain types of units were next to each other that first off, like certain units would like, you would give them move commands and they wouldn't be able to resolve, even though visually they'd be fine. The way that the game saw them, they would have to like literally break the geometry of the level just to try to find a place to stand still. And this had implications for how you had to micro units up ramps, the ways that players were able to just play with terrain differences in general very intelligently, because there was no system to, the game wasn't, I guess, sound enough to like intelligently place your units if you just literally fucking group clicked all and right clicked in a specific area. So a lot of like personality and play style was lost there. But the writer's point is that, you know, StarCraft 2 literally couldn't be Brood War, because the incidental or emergent shit that some would see as jank that players just accepted and worked with in Brood War is not present because StarCraft 2 was too polished. It was too well made. And that's not always necessarily the case, but sometimes you see something that functions perfectly fine but just has these certain quirks, like DMC4 or Smash Brothers Melee. And more to what you were talking about, Dax, there was a post that I saw from the World of Warcraft Classic team that I posted on Twitter because I thought it was super like wholesome and cool, where what they're doing is that they're changing, or they're not really changing, but they're reverting the way that damage and health, basically they're changing the calculation cycle for how often the game updates its state back to how it was in World of Warcraft Classic when it first launched.
They're updating the tick rate?
Yeah, they're literally changing how frequently the game is checking for what spells are resolving, what dots need to tick, how often. So like you know when you used to play like BC or whatever the fuck, you just see internal server pulse is a way to word it. And like so spell batches. Thank you Pokey. We need to get Pokey on the show. What it would do is like you would like one of the coolest shit ever was like a healer would throw a heal over time on a bunch of on like a whole raid or whatever the fuck. And because the batch cycle was unified, you would see like all these green numbers just flash at once, or like dots and shit like that would just all tick with a consistency to them, a consistent rate. And that was characteristic of how WoW used to play. So in order to maintain game feel, they're taking it back to that old server batch process so you'd be able to play with the feel that the old game had. But it's interesting because they're making a different decision along that line that some classic fans aren't happy with, where the version of Alterac Valley that they're rolling with is one of the updated ones where basically the long and short of it is that old matches of Alterac Valley would go for like a week or weeks on end, basically a single match of AV, because it was a constant like war for resources and small micro objectives that people were able to pursue.
Oh,
And
oh god, it's been a while. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now. I remember.
And the version of Alterac Valley that's going to launch in Classic is supposedly the updated version that drastically reduces the amount of time you can put into a match. It removes some of the side objectives, and some people are pissed. But I really want to get a chance to interview a couple people from the team because I want to know how their mindset is with like the decisions that they have to make. Because there's some shit where it's like you run across this emergent characteristic of your game that you like and one that you don't, and you have to make a decision somewhere to keep one or axe the other. And just that whole process it's interesting because it could potentially bring me a little bit of peace with yeah, all that shit.
Have people been upset? Because I know this information came out, I want to say a couple weeks back, where they were talking about, I think we may have actually mentioned this before, but the order in which certain content updates from that period are going to be rolling out in a different order compared to how they originally did. Not substantially so, but certain things just being, and they had reasonings for it. I didn't read the whole thing, but they had reasonings for, like, oh, instead of having, this raid in this dungeon, this update or whatever, or we're putting this raid and we're moving it up here to be next with it, in line with this one because of X reason, whatever else. I wasn't sure if people were kind of miffed about it, because I mean, they sounded like it was pretty reasonable and they weren't really changing the content itself. It was more the order of things. So I wasn't sure if people were kind of upset about that anyway, because I hadn't heard anything about changing AV or anything about that.
It's a trip. I really want to just like take a trip through the WoW Classic forums to see what other people are saying, because when they announced the spell batch reversion, they were like, oh dude, yeah, this is sick. But they made a similar post where they were like, this is a conscious decision that we're making about Alterac Valley, and a decent portion of the people were like, this is fucking whack, I don't want this. Please reconsider this, or at least give an option for it.
So we'll see. Do we have any like time frame for when that's supposed to launch, or is it just this year?
Pokey, do you know? Mark would know for sure, because he's watching the fun for his game return like a hawk.
Wait, you don't want to play Facebook forever?
Dude,
you don't want to sit in your fucking. You don't want to sit your ass in your fucking garrison and just play fucking Bejeweled all day while you wait for your shit to happen.
If you know when WoW Classic is supposed to drop.
I think it's. Yeah, I know it's this year sometime.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was still a window.
This summer? Ooh, that's close.
Oh,
dang.
Shit. Oh, that'd be cool. Damn. That'd be neat.
That'd be fucking dope.
I'll be too busy playing the new FF14 expansion.
Oh yeah, how is FF14 shaking
out? The Shadowbringer, right?
Shadowbringer.
Is that out yet?
No, it comes out in the summer.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's gonna be busy.
They always release in summer though. Every 2 years, 3 years, the new expansion comes out in the summer. They got I don't know. Everyone's mad that there's no healer, and I kind of could understand that, because they haven't added a healer in for fucking ever. But
I'm still salty about Ronso. Why you so?
If they change the way healing works, then I think that people would maybe play healer again. Because right now it's about doing as little healing as you can and doing as much damage as you can. That's literally every class in the game.
Oh, dude, I love fucking modern WoW.
Like, optimal play of the game is DPS or DPSing. Healers are DPSing and then healing when they need to, and tanks are always in DPS stance and DPSing unless they need to tank like a huge cooldown or something. Or tank a huge like tank buster, so they use cooldowns and shit. Like, everything is just about doing damage pretty much, so everyone just plays DPSs. Like, there's hardly any tank and healer players anymore.
Oh, you mentioned that. That's right. That blows. Well,
but maybe people will play Gunbreaker because that's a tank. So
also, Ed, what's
this?
this?
They get the Gunblade from FF8.
What's this ping in Chris's server over?
They got themselves worked up nowadays. You're so convinced that you can suck. Yeah. I think that, I mean, Dancer has just been like a buff and debuff class, so it's not surprising that it's like a ranged physical DPS to me, because that's literally what Bard and Machinist do, is they're mostly used for buffs and debuffs, and then they have damage as well.
It's usually buffs and damage. What the fuck? You know, I've been high-key thinking about FF. Well, is FF14 an MMO?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, is it? Do you have community and shit? Do you have the people? Do you have the boys?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, does it feel like old WoW?
I never
there's like
played
a-
WoW.
where there's like a-
14 was my first MMO.
Was there like a strong community element and shit like that? Like a
played
strong
Rainbow
social
Six.
side of it? Was
Yeah.
it? Is
I mean, you can get a little tag if you want to ERP, so people know you're retarded.
well, no.
I mean, he's true. He's
No,
right.
14's,
He's
I mean,
not wrong at
14's,
all.
14's community's been popping and pretty consistent for a long time.
There's a
I mean,
lot of
it's-
people that play the
it's-
game, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not.
And
It's
then
not.
you can get a tank
hard
with
to
a gold
find.
crown next to the name, and you know that they suck too.
What's the gold
Mhm.
crown mean?
It means
mean-
like it means you're a mentor. So like you have to have certain classes of each type leveled to this amount, and then it's like you're a mentor. You have a gold crown. Everyone's
Right.
seeing
It's a
you.
matter of.
You can-
Yeah, it's an
teach
icon.
people
It's
how
an
to play the
icon
game.
that says you put in a fuckload of hours just grinding.
But they
bullshit.
always suck. Every fucking time you get a tank with that shit, they fucking stay. It's like they never fucking played the game before. Every fucking time, dude. And then you have bean sprouts. That's what I call them, and it's like a little.
Yeah,
a
I
little
know.
plant
I know the
next to
beans.
name,
I know the bean
and
sprout. We
that
had
means
those
they're
in.
new.
Yeah, we
And
had
then you
those
have
in
a
11.
sunflower, and the sunflower means that they're a returner. So like
Yeah.
they used to play the game, and now they're coming back.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm a little sunflower right now. It's great.
I always deny that shit. I don't want that shit. The dunce crap.
I like being the bean
What a
sprout.
charm.
It makes me think of 11. I like being a bean sprout.
Yeah, I mean, at least bean sprouts have an excuse because they're new to the game. But then it's like when you play with gold crowns that are playing like bean sprouts, you're like, all right, what are you
See,
doing?
I think of that. I think of that shit like I think of like colored ranks and like anime fighters and shit. Like when I was playing Persona,
Oh,
I
yeah.
always wanted to be a little bean sprout, like no matter my level, because I didn't want people to be like, "Oh man, this guy's gonna be super cool," but I'm just doing bullshit. And they're like, "Man, this guy sucks. I feel cheated." And it's like, well, it's not my fault. I don't want you to think I'm good.
God,
Like,
I
the
wish
ga-
I
the
could
game-
just
the
be
game-
a green square
Yeah,
in
like the-
fucking Dragon Ball.
Fucking Dragon Ball made me a pink square. I was like, "No, dude, I'm fucking yellow at best. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Get me out of here. I don't want this." And everyone's been
Can I-
like, "Man, this pink square. This guy must be good." It's like, fuck, dude. I only know like 2 combos.
I randomly
I
got
just-
that yellow square from playing arena matches with y'all, and then one
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
he's like, "Here's a yellow square."
Me and
Oh.
like I didn't even get yellow or fucking green square on my most recent account I made for Dragon Ball. They
just
just
went
put me straight into orange.
Yeah, you just got.
I was like,
enough
no! God damn it! Now I'm gonna be going against Smurfs all day.
Yeah.
I-
Well, that's the
I
worst
think-
part is that like you'll find people in that like the yellow range who are more competent than the people in
Yeah.
the orange. Like the orange is
yeah.
the orange is like that like the fucking orange rank.
Orange?
Orange rank in Dragon Ball is like that 3.5 to 5k BP range in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
That is the worst window. Because if you're between 1 and 2k, you're getting people oftentimes who are fairly experienced but are probably not taking it super seriously. And if you're in that same window too, then it's just where you're fucking around, whatever. Get people above that. They're not good, but they're super fucking serious, and they'll just start doing some bullshit.
Oh,
And it's not fun. And then you get
Dragon
above
Ball's
5k,
bad.
and then people are fairly competent.
Orange rank in Dragon Ball is I think the dumbest rank I've ever seen in any fighting game ever. Like these are the dudes that you go into like when you get matched up with them, they have the Vegito icon. You're like, oh, that's weird. and you know what the first thing they fucking you see when you load in. There he is, Vegito, Bardock, and Goku Black. And you just think to yourself, this guy is gonna wake up Super Dash all the time. He's gonna press his goddamn button. He's gonna chimp out on
Press that
Bardock.
like button, dude.
He's gonna press that fucking like button, and I'm stuck there. And I'm sitting
Dude.
there going, "Well, this is fun, woo, yeah."
there's a clip the other night, and like I was watching, I was bored watching Hooking after Bum hosted him, because I think it was after his birthday bash was over.
Yeah.
And he was watching a match he had just played, like watching the inputs of it, because this guy, and it was this pink square dude who, you know, you see, like there would be times where it was like, okay, he's kind of got a gameplay, he's kind of doing stuff, but it's like for every input, intentional or not, whether it was in a combo or in a block, or he was having the block or whatever, for every light there was like 9 more. For every, I mean, just constant. It is so funny.
Was that on my stream?
No, that was on Hookings. I was telling him.
Oh, okay.
He was watching a replay of a match he had just had, and
I
like
did
the whole
that
chat was
too,
laughing. It was funny.
I did that too, and it was this guy I went against, like every time in a block string. If he's in a block string, he's pressing light the entire time.
That was this guy. That was
when he got out of it. Any button, it didn't matter. When he wanted a super, you could see his inputs and just mashing it to get a super. And I'm like, dude, relax.
The funniest, and it will always be the most funny reoccurring
y'all can't see my
thing.
inputs, dude.
Well, okay, like you could have inputs where it's like you throw in some extra buttons to make sure it works out, and it's shit like Dragon Ball. Sure, you can do that because of the way Gatlings work and the input leniency and all that. But like there's that, which, you know, I did early on and stuff, and I started to get to where it's like, okay, I start to feel at the timing and I don't need to do it as much anymore. I'm still fine with it. There's that, and then there's just, I mean, just going fucking unga bunga on this shit. I was gonna say the funniest ones to me, and I used to have so many recordings of these because I'd run into them all the time, and everyone kind of did in Street Fighter 4, especially like Super to AE 2012, where just like the online Turbo Blankas, where you would just see the rainbow of like punch and kick inputs just flying by at every moment, every time you put them in a block string, just scrolling through the crowd. Oh, it was so funny. That shit was great. And just like the stick. Oh, and then, yeah, you get Zangiefs, and just, I mean, that stick is just, you just see arrows just fucking spinning constantly every time you start blocking something. It is so funny.
Wait, they're just fucking mashing for like fucking electricity or whatever?
Yeah, well, yeah, you'll have the Turbo Blankas because they're just doing that to hope to get electricity whenever you like go to fucking, you know, try to, you know, do a jab and throw or something like that. And then you have the Zangiefs who will just, you know, it's like, hey, you better fucking either finish your block string or try the jump or something, because like their arrows are spinning really hard. You just watch the inputs. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. That reminds me though, Dragon Ball patch, big patch,
big patch, large,
ooh, big,
massive,
big,
massive
patch. Anymore, dude.
Yeah, you do.
They took away my rolling crusher. That's what I used to
Yeah,
do
well,
for
they took away 8 things from me, so shut up. You're fine. I have to learn a whole new damn character.
They fuck Bardock's Lariats too. Those things are garbage now.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw.
They throw them full screen if you do it in the air.
Yep.
And you can't super off of it even if you're in the corner, because there's not enough recovery time.
Oh damn. Nice. That's what I like to hear. Yes, big patch in Dragon Ball. Like every character got touched in a way, like maybe in their no zone, sometimes in their happy place.
Yeah,
fucking Trunks, fucking hit.
Oh, Trunks hit.
My teams are in.
Yeah, Trunks and Hit both got touched. Trunks is fucking ass.
Trunks
like
is great.
I played against a guy yesterday who was playing Trunks, and he was showing me some shit. Like, dude, Trunks has got some. Like, he's got hard knockdown in the corner off of 5H.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can actually do fucking Shining Slash into like a slide knockdown in the corner.
Yeah.
In the air, it's fucking. Dude, the dude is bananas now. Like, he's super fucking.
There's a sort of theme that's kind of permeated through a lot of the patch, which has basically been like 2 things. One, giving a lot of characters more consistent and in a lot of ways meterless like knockdown potential, rather than having to do what a lot of those characters were doing before in the last patch when they added sliding knockdown off of Dragon Rush in the air.
Yeah.
Where there would be characters that who would, instead of like ending a combo without being able to, you know, do it effectively without like heavy meter or supers or whatever else, they would just like, you know, they would vanish out, or they would vanish and go into the DR and then like get a sliding knockdown that way, or they would try to change combos that way. It made it to where a lot of characters can do more convenient knockdown stuff. A lot of characters are more dependable on their own, Like so a lot of the ones I was messing with, like Broly has a lot of that now. Nappa has a lot of that now, where you like characters that can just convert. Trunks is a good example. Characters can just convert really, really well by themselves and have more tools. And the second thing is that they're trying to, and I can appreciate this for the most part. There's some that I'm a little weird about, but for the most part, I really like a lot of the changes for characters. Is that they're trying to diversify specials in a way to where you don't end up in as many situations, especially in a game as homogenized as this and as simplistic as this for each individual character's approach. They don't want to end up in a situation where it's like, okay, you know, I do this combo with X character and I end in this special move for a knockdown.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm using that special move in the middle of a combo to extend off this assist, I'm always using this version of that special. Whenever I'm ending it in the air, it's on my own, I'm always using this special. I'm always using medium every time. Why would I ever use light? That kind of thing. Or why I would ever use EX, right? Or, you know, that kind of thing. So they're diversifying a lot of moves in that way to make them have more unique properties and give you different reasons to use them. So for example, they basically made like Broly's air, like you didn't have any reason to really use light before in a lot of cases, except for like very specific situations for depending on how the combo is scaling. If you wouldn't be able to grab them with medium if you have to use light. And what they did was that medium still operates in a way kind of like it did before, where you throw them and there's a little bit of hit stop where the character kind of freezes right in front of you before they head down. But now there's even more so to where it makes like low to the ground banishes to go into DR easier. It makes certain little conversions easier, things like that. And it's a little bit faster, so it catches in more combos. And then light's weird, and actually a lot of people don't like it. Actually kind of interested in how it could work, because light, like, it throws them to the ground immediately so fast, there's no hit stop, and there's no like they bounce on the ground and land. They just like hit the ground and tech. And it's super fast, but they're also off screen. So it's like I could see a lot of shenanigans happening with that. So it's like there's a lot of stuff like that happening to just give characters really unique routes, especially with EX moves. Like Broly's EX grab, it causes it's a unique state. They have like a couple unique knockdown and ground mount states now, where there are characters that will bounce, hit the ground, and then slide. And
Gohan has that.
So there's a bunch of characters that have it, and it's actually really cool. I think does Hit has one now. I think either
it has one. Goku Blue, Goku Ray, like Super Saiyan Goku. I think Goku. No, I don't think base Goku. But
well, the point, like what it does is that it does two things. It allows for a conversion in certain situations, especially for Krillin has one with EX air Tiger Knee flip.
Yeah,
it will cause that state. So there's an immediate ground bounce into an immediate hit the ground slide knockdown state.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, if you immediately do it, call an assist, and you can get the pickup. If you don't, you get a knockdown. So you're paying a bar for like a lot of different conversion options, especially when a lot of these moves have been buffed. It's where like TK fucking EX flip on Krillin that move is already really good. Now it's dumb. And like there's a lot of characters that got now. Like Broly, it's so funny. What you can do is that if you do like a low enough, like you pick them off the ground mid combo or start or whatever, do a couple hits immediately into EX grab, throw them behind you. They bounce like off screen. You can't see them, but you hear them bounce. Broly can start doing the projectile, catch them, and then vanish and then pick them back up. And it's really neat. It's really neat. You can call assist and do it. Like there's all sorts of different situations like that where I'm like, okay, cool. That's a lot of potential. And so I think this is like the first patch we've really seen where they've attempted to really look at characters and find interesting ways to make them not only more viable on their own and give them more interesting options for how they spin bar and how they use specials and things like that, but also not necessarily rely on like, okay, we're just gonna change some things because I feel like for the most part, a lot of characters in the past kind of got that, unless it was stuff where it's like, no, Majin Buu stand light should hit small characters because it's bullshit for him to just whiff because they're small, right? Like you should not, like, just because a character's fucking tiny, like we don't need the old Amaterasu shit where Ami's just like walking under fucking beams. Like I don't give a fuck. Yeah. We don't need that. So like they're normalizing a lot.
Those tiny
I know.
dude.
So they would normalize a lot of those things. They make it to where like a lot of moves have just different hitboxes or different rates at which characters move, to where like smaller characters don't fall out as much or characters get hit. Like they would do a lot of that, and then when they would make other changes or buffs or nerfs or whatever, a lot of it felt really arbitrary, or really, unless it was stuff like, okay, 16 has this ridiculous mix off level 3 that's just, it's a little much. Let's pull it back to where he still has to make a guess between a couple of options, but he still gets Oki, right?
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that. Like we pull back a bit, it's like, okay, that's understandable. But a lot of stuff is like,
I used to just get a 50-50 from just his.
Oh yeah, well, it's Vash and Aceuhh, I remember, because I would do that bullshit all the time. It was really funny, and then they took it away. I was like, all right, well, I don't have a gameplay anymore. I was just doing bullshit. But it was funny though for a while. And I think this is the first one where it's like, okay, cool. Like it's in a similar way to where there's some stuff that feels kind of odd, but at the same time, there's so many amounts. There's such a high amount of changes, and like fundamental ways that characters play, that it's kind of fun to look at, instead of being like, okay, well, I have these 3 weird little changes. I guess I can work with it. Now it's like, oh, now I have all sorts of new shit, except for Krillin, because he's a whole new fucking character, and I have to relearn shit. I don't want to. But aside from that,
it's funny. It's funny that a lot of characters got like extreme gameplay change. Like Goku Blue, that character's nuts. Like where before you only really had to worry about the fucking command. Now it's like, okay, you got to worry about a delayed low. You got to worry about a command grab. You got to worry about a fucking side switch off of his dive kick during a block string. Which depending on what assist you have, you can push them over. You can do other things so that they can so you can do other stuff for it with it. Like, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous what you can do with that fucking character now. It's absolutely nuts. Like, and it's funny because a lot of people are on the blue hype train right now, and it's like, you guys are cowards.
Dude, Nappa has one of the most unseeable, ridiculous mix-ups that I've ever seen now, and the only thing you can do is spark. If you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
I guess you can guard cancel, but you have to like make sure he doesn't like wait, and he has a lot of opportunity. There's just a lot of really. This is the first patch in a while where there's just most of the stuff that's been coming out hasn't just been like, oh, here's a cool little change, now I can do this. A lot of it's been like, well, that's scary. I don't want to deal with that, and it's really good and just solid and fundamental, and it's like, and I'm seeing the word universal on every fucking tweet. Where they're like, yeah, this is just a fundamental thing that works now, and it's really good. Fucking watch the fuck out. It's a lot of stuff like that, but it's exciting in a way. It's actually like, okay, cool. Now there's a lot of like, some neater shit, and it's we'll see how it is in a month if it gets stale again, because this game just gets like that.
People are still saying Piccolo is the best character in the game right now.
He's really good.
Really? Jesus.
It's been now, especially now Goichi's playing him and winning.
Yeah,
so you have a lot of that.
Patch,
doesn't matter. People were saying it then.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true.
I'm confused as to what the point of the 2 different rolling crushers for light and medium is now.
Well, what are the differences?
Like, I haven't really played the game, and I didn't read the patch notes that much or anything, but they both have a wind up now. Like before, rolling crusher in the air light was instant. But now you can't combo off of it unless you could combo off of medium, because they both have the same windup.
I'm guessing, can you...
I think the arcs are just different. Like, one goes straight down and then medium goes, like, forward more.
I don't know. I mean, there have been cases where, like, characters will have differences. Well, okay, Nappa's... down H in the air has, like, a different start. Like, it doesn't connect normally as much anymore, but now... what you're supposed to do is like do like a jump S into it. Maybe that's what I was supposed to do. I forget what it was. Maybe I'm thinking of a different character, but I know people were talking about that kind of stuff where people were saying like, oh, this is weird, right? I'm trying to like, this won't connect anymore. It's like, oh, now you can, well, because of this other buff, now you just chain these together and it works fine.
Oh yeah,
right? There's
definitely new ways to play a salad. The old combo just didn't work anymore.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't sure if it was a matter of just like, I wasn't sure if it was a matter of like, oh, you just add this other buff. Yeah.
Like, because the EX still comes out instantly. But now it's like before, like how his medium rolling crusher had like a half second before it actually started, where he just like stood there with his arms up. Now the light one does that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just more or less like they were trying to they're trying to change the utilization of like his carry, essentially, because like no matter what, if you got touch, you're going to the corner with Cell, like against Cell,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
Cell
heard
touch
people
you.
saying he's
you
good.
die.
I haven't watched that much shit from season 2 yet, though.
I have like honestly, I haven't watched a lot either. Like Ginny, you were talking about 21's changes, and it's like I've played 21 since then, but I'm not like I haven't tested out any shit with her yet. It's literally just been me fucking around with like Adult Gohan and Goku Blue so far. And Adult Gohan's got he's got leg loops back. Well, I mean, he's always had leg loops, right? But he's got the corner bullshit now. Where before still not a 7-minute block string, 7-bar block string where he could literally infinitely do it to you. But now,
Simon Tournament, I was like, what is the point, dude? What do you do here? You just have to hold it until you get opened up. There's no escape.
Yeah, pretty much. But now you can reflect it. You can't 2H it anymore. You can reflect it, and in the open you can backdash, but you can read both of those. Like if you think they're gonna reflect, you can air dash in. If you think they're gonna backdash, you can air dash in with a medium. He can now convert off of 214, his little overhead, the heavy version. You can convert off of it. He's got new shit with how his light version of the overhead punch or whatever the fuck. You know how I have 2H and then do the overhead punch and you come down? Now it comes down faster, so now I can't do like overhead punch into Goku. Now what I can do is come down, get an assist to pick you up, and then do it again for another knockdown. It's really, really dumb. Now off of vanish conversions, I can give you a hard knockdown. I don't go on back in this bitch. You already know what the fuck it is.
Out of this bitch.
Good question, my friend. Good question.
What did they do to Gotenks? Is that character dead yet?
No, he's fine. He has some weird stuff now. He can do Galactic Donut, but then like hold up to have it go above the opponent in case they like try to move or jump.
Yeah.
I think I know they buffed a couple things. I think like EX, the EX multi-punch is better. Like it's more plus or something like that. I forget what some of the changes are. I think it was kind of an even thing. Like they gave him some stuff, took away some stuff. It wasn't anything substantial to like just change his game heavily.
Well, the character's not deleted yet, so my list isn't looking so hot right now. But yeah, I don't know. Like there's like every character got touched in a way. Like Vegeta now has a hard knockdown in the air, so now you don't have to commit to that bar for the guaranteed knockdown in the corner. Like if their combo was too long, like the DP would bump out or whatever the fuck. Now it's you just do level 3 and you get it for free. Really dumb.
Yeah, there were a lot of characters like that got changed where if you're really high up and you do a level 3, then like they wouldn't. Yeah, like now it's like now characters, they have a proper hard knockdown now. Like no matter.
Yeah, they don't want to see they want to see a diversity in the combos and not just like knock to ground level 3. Now they want you do the level 3 in the air, dash up, do your thing, like because now you can. They changed Goku, Super Saiyan Goku's Oki off his level 3. I don't know why. They just got rid of it completely. Now when you do it, you just go full fucking screen from the other person, which is absolutely retarded. I don't know. Who else got fucking changes? Trunks hit. There's a crazy DHC glitch going on right now, which they honestly need to fix, and they've already stated that they're gonna fix. With like 17 cooler. With 17 cooler and hit, it seems like those like hit and 17 are both the like prime suspects of it, but you don't need like if you have 17 you don't need hit. If you have hit you don't need 17. So you can utilize cooler with it, trunks. It's really dumb. Trying to think like what other crazy universal, like any other like crazy universal change. Oh, the assist thing. The assist thing has changed the fucking game, son.
Finally.
Like
there's an input difference. You can do it to where instead of holding forward an assist, which a lot of times you would do by accident because you're trying to move forward and call an assist at the same time. Now you can change it to where you can hit down an assist. Why or nothing. Why it wasn't like
Yep.
that day one, I don't know. But here we are. We got it. So
Yeah, well, here we are. We got it. That's changed. Hey, it's changed the game. I tell you that much. Now your pressure is unleashed. I have to think about it, and I'm like, oh wait, I could just hold forward and fucking assist. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good change for the game, to be honest, because like, yes, the game was getting stale, and it just how it is with these kind of like homogenized games, that they get stale. Like, that's how it works. Street Fighter 5 is actually the stalest, most boring game to fucking watch now, unless Smug is playing G. Other than that, I don't care. Like,
agree with that.
Bro, yeah, G and Ibuki are the only characters I like watching in that game anymore.
yeah. Who won Street Fighter, by the way?
Tokyo.
Oh wait,
Tokyo.
hold on. We need
Tokyo.
Shib's esports time. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shib's Esports Corner, where he gives us updates
Man.
on esports.
Man, I wish Street Fighter 5 would fucking die.
Shib, take it away.
Echo Fox made us think they were a good team for one game, and then they lost 3-1 to TSM in the North American semifinals.
Oh,
Who the fuck played in Europe? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking remember. FlyQuest and TSM won the semifinals in NA. Goichi beat everybody once again, and he won Dragon Ball. Because now he's the king and Kaz is not anymore. And Tokido almost lost to Punk, but he clutched it out because he is stronger mental than Punk, as we've proven with this set and the Evo set. It's proven now. Tokido just has a stronger mental than Punk.
every
Damn.
time. He gets to grand finals against Tokido, and Tokido, they're like, what's up? Been waiting.
Yeah, Kaz and Dogra were in losers from pools.
Yeah. Dragon
What's
Ball.
this? Terrence, I think.
Mm,
Terrence
think so.
got top 8 in Street Fighter,
Oh.
and Subatomic Sabers got top 8 in Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And I think he was like top 3 actually.
He did. He was doing really well.
Who is he playing?
Oh shit.
He
Was
plays
it
Cell.
Nishi? Okay, never mind. All right, go
I was
next.
trying to remember who else was. So yeah.
Host is made by Tokido.
Cell 1810.
Sully.
Well, no, 18. That no.
Oh,
no,
I
no,
played
no,
against
no.
that team online. That
So-
shit. Ooh. Something.
Yeah, no, Cell 1810. That's not right.
That was Brian.
That was
Hekau,
someone
right?
else on the.
No.
Oh, Brian. Yeah, that was someone else. It was a Vegito team.
Oh,
Ugh.
I don't
no
remember.
wonder.
So those
Oh,
fucking tournaments
whatever.
become such.
Okay,
Those
he
tournaments
just-
become such a fucking blur for me.
He pressed
can't keep
light all
track.
the way to top 3, dude.
Vegito, Cell,
Every
Go
time-
Tanks. Yeah.
the only Vegito I'll ever watch is like and take fucking serious is Tachikawa. The rest I don't fucking care. Get that guy who?
No.
Wait, no, Tachikawa doesn't even play. He
Kaimar.
plays hit. Yeah,
he plays
Kaimar.
Hit,
Yeah.
Kaimar
No,
plays
Tachikawa was
Vegito.
the hit Frieza
Tachikawa
player.
was at NCR too.
Yeah.
I think
he's
the only
the-
3 Japanese players were Tachikawa, Kaz, and Dokura, or and Goichi, so 4. Well, the 4 that I saw at least.
Hmm. And then
I don't know what happened to Moke.
and Street Fighter.
Both. I haven't seen
Oh.
him in Dragon Ball or Street Fighter. Like, I don't know if he's going and just losing like before I see him, or if he's not traveling right now.
Well, you got to send him an email. Shib's esports report is suffering because of this. All right, so
Moke was dirty last season, dude. He was the only one that almost took down Kaz at any point, dude.
yeah, every
He
time.
took him to game 5 twice in one tournament and lost, dude.
Man, I'm trying to think like what other fucking events happened this weekend because like the big patch went down and like NCR was like, yeah, so we're gonna do last season's patch because it just came out, and we're like, huh? Why? Stop.
I mean, it was
Do
pretty.
this
It was pretty close to it, and it seemed like a big list. I can kind of understand, but I don't know. Plus, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like one of the stuff like NCR is a pretty. I mean, I'd say it's a high profile, but like one of the kind of the big ones that a lot
It
of
was
people
pretty
look forward
small
to. But
still,
I mean,
honestly.
it's even yeah, but that's what made me start thinking about it. I was like, kind of. Wasn't as
Yeah.
big as, I guess I'm so used to thinking of like, well, SCR is always still a bit on the bigger side, but even like NCR and SCR both, I associate them how I associated with them in fucking like 2012, you know, like that period where it was just like there weren't nearly, it's just like we didn't have a lot of these other tournaments and shit, and that was just such like a fucking prime time where we get like 100 fucking Japanese players out here to fucking
Bro,
NorCal
I
and all
used to
that kind
fucking
of shit, and it's just like it's
love
not quite that much.
SCR just for fucking Marvel 3, dude.
Yeah,
Everybody would show up for Marvel 3 and fucking NCR to SCR, dude.
Mhm.
That was the place to be.
because there was all that fucking rivalry. It was so funny, and then the East Coast people would come out, and then like it was just this fucking trifecta of just people shitting on each other.
Somebody's getting
Fuck.
fucked. Somebody's
Somebody's
getting
getting
fucked.
Get fucked. Great.
Get fucked.
I think
get
like another
fucked.
30 minutes still to memory or something.
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, that's the time we're going till.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had another
yeah.
half hour is fine.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's only
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
BBNBN? I don't know what that is.
Isn't he a
BBNBN.
player?
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, good luck with that one there, Ginny. We don't know what that one is. Call us some esports connoisseurs right here, dude. Fuck, like it. Tekken happened. I don't know who won. I know that Avery got top 3. That's all I remember.
When you beat
Yep.
his ass, you should. You're a good player, right?
Huh?
So you're gonna beat his ass and you're gonna play solo Evo, right? Who am I rooting for?
I'm gonna win Evo on Marvel
Uh,
4, dude.
If you're talking about fucking Tekken, I think I'm gonna do fine at Tekken every year, and then every year I just walk up and just like, wow, I can't play the game, and I get fucked. Dragon Ball. I
Oh,
did
Bon
Evo.
Bon. I thought you were talking
Oh,
about an
Bon Bon.
event. Yeah, I remember the player from World
Yeah.
Worlds. Yeah, he beat Sonic Fox, didn't he? I thought that was like an abbreviation for an event or something. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the GDQ games list either. That came out as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
I didn't even
let's
look
yeah.
at it.
It's,
break me down.
It's a lot of Nintendo.
A lot of
again.
Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo.
I
like,
fucking heard
I had
Zen was going in.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little more accepting of it because like there were some games on here that I was kind of a sucker for, and then as I went back, and so I put out a tweet, and I was like, oh, this seems pretty good. And as I went back and looked at it, I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's
Maybe I
I
jumped the
guess it's to
gun.
be expected. Like, okay, like
Maybe I jumped the gun.
in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm scrolling through it. In my mind, I went, okay, Ape Escape, fucking Portrait of Ruin. Let's see, Contra 3, Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy,
Bloodstained.
Warp Race, Deltarune, Devil May Cry 1. What else did I see? Glover. Let's see, Nightmare in Dreamland, Air Ride. I'm trying to think of anything. I'm trying to look for like what's like
Bro,
I'm excited
Distortion
about.
2's doing Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Dead Rising got in.
Prime, Metroid Prime 2, Octopath Traveler, Perfect Dark, Prey 2017 All Main Quests. Let's see. What else stood out? Yeah, Sonic Block,
Glover.
CD Generations, all that. Split Second.
Glover.
My friend Lilat's running Star Fox, and then what else was it? Like, oh, and Titan, the fucking GOAT, Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
And
Bro, I cannot believe.
and Transistor and Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I saw all that.
Who's running Transistor?
FHNNHF.
Oh,
It's a name.
okay. Yeah.
I saw all that. Like as my eyes are glazing over it, I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude. Because I do this every time, right? Where I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude, look at all that cool shit. And then I scroll back up, and I'm like, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, 100%, 3 hours 15 minutes. Breath of the Wild, any percent, 35 minutes. Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, 100%, 5 hours 15 minutes. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, any percent bonus game, 23 minutes. Legend of Zelda Randomizer Race, an hour. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, any percent, 2 hours. Come on, dude.
Don't
Yep.
forget the Link to the Past Super Metroid combo randomizer that we've already
Yep.
seen from Ivan and Andy.
Which
that's
we've
back
already
again.
seen, which that gave me deja vu. Like I was.
Don't
losing
forget
my
about the
fucking
task
mind.
block that we've seen a million times. That's back again. That's playing Celeste.
Playing
that it just
Celeste
played last
again.
time.
I know. So
I'm going to. I want to interrupt really quickly.
God, it's so much fucking salt.
I want to interrupt really quickly. What is it?
You all
Shush
seem
got
excited
this.
about something.
Shush got this
Ooh.
as a tip actually
What?
for grooming dogs. Yeah, it's just,
Hell yeah.
somebody around here like makes local honey, and so
That's
we just got a
fucking
jar of
cool.
honey as a tip
Sick.
for like grooming the dog.
That's sick.
So we got some free ass locally made honey, boys and girls.
That
Anyway,
sounds
you guys-
very
you guys can go
American.
back to-
God bless it. God damn it.
I mean, that's
Rising
about as-
is,
Man, have you ever heard of anything so Kansas in your life? 'Cause
Till you
Oh,
realize-
it's almost
No,
as good
no,
as
no,
that
no, no,
fucking
no.
gas station we passed by.
Dude, down. Okay.
Welcome.
the best part of that is that I did like my ass being down here didn't think fucking twice about it, and so I didn't
And
realize until I
meanwhile,
turned
as
around
roll
and
in,
I
I'm like, this is it. This is it.
like Aceuhh
just-
was saying stuff about it. And I was like, "What's the big deal?" And I saw Vash's face, and I kind of looked back on it, and I saw the Confederate flag, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, yeah, I guess so." I'm just so
Walk
used to
by.
this shit.
I hit
Walk
one. I
by.
hit one of the like. I was just expecting as I walked in. Welcome.
For those listening or those in chat who want context, this is from when we were leaving GDQ from my house. Vash and Aceuhh flew
Yeah.
down to good old Memphis, Tennessee, and as we were driving down, it doesn't take us very long to hit certain spots in that backwater ass area where it's like, ooh, people, you bitch, you live out here? The fuck
are
you
you
mean?
gonna drive to Orlando?
To Orlando? Yes.
Oh, dude, you're gonna go through North Florida, dude. You're gonna really see it there too.
I know, that's why. That's part I buy. Like, because I was thinking about, I was like, well, the main reason why I wanted to drive is because it's going to be a new hotel. I know it's going to be contractual, so they're going to have it for multiple years, supposedly. If it's going to be the same like how it was HDQ, I would assume. So if it is, I really want to drive to test it out to see if I'm going to need a car in the future. Plus, I really like, typically that's when more of us show up, and I like having my monitors and things like that. It's convenient. But if I find that, okay, yeah, I really didn't need the car, or I can load up on whatever I need, like there's plenty of spots, like if you can walk to or whatever, then I won't really bother with it after that. But part of it, though, in my mind was like, well, I do get to drive through North Florida. So if I bring some boys with me on a trip to drive through North Florida, we could take some, we could
Bro, you will see some
hit the sites.
KKK members
It's,
up there.
oh, I'm sure. Dude,
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus
I've
Christ.
driven through a bunch of times, like when I was really, really young, when we go on like family trips down to Orlando, Disneyland, and Islands of Adventure and all that shit from like, from like 95 to, 2005, like that window, a few times in between, but like, I don't remember it. So I think that'd be fun to experience that for myself.
What I could tell you is like all
Dax would be
I
safe.
thought is when we got there, like when we rolled up through there, my immediate mindset is, okay, Aceuhh, on your best behavior.
Yeah, I don't know how if you have to go through Alabama or not too, but that's even worse, dude. That place is that's
Cause
the South, dude.
Well, I've been through, funny enough, if you go through, well, actually, hold on. Am I mixing up? Hold on.
Am I mixing up my racism?
No. I need
Hold on,
to
I want to clear this up.
No.
I wanna clear this up.
I'm looking at a map
Kansas.
to make sure I'm not an idiot.
Kansas is not very racist. It's our next door neighbors, Missouri.
Right.
Them folks over there, you might find some racism.
No, good old no. If I drive 20 minutes south into Mississippi, you're gonna find some goddamn racism. But no, like down at like Alabama. Now when I drive 3.5 hours down to Huntsville, Alabama, with Gedra, it is nice as fuck out of there. That area is developing so well, and it's like 3 hours like directly south of Nashville. So there's a lot of correlation there. It's super nice. I don't dare go farther south than that because that's that's North Alabama. I don't go south from that, but I drive right through
Dothan?
Huntsville and then I keep going. Like that's my
Something
path
like
down
Dothan,
to Georgia.
Alabama.
Where is it?
They had like Dothan, Alabama, or some
Dothan.
shit. It's a lot.
Dothan,
They literally just had
Alabama.
like murals of slaves on the walls and shit.
oh,
I bet they would really hate to get rid of those.
Yeah.
That's the funniest shit. You have these fucking like asshole Confederate leaders and shit. It's like,
That's
ah,
history. You just can't get rid of that.
can't get rid of this ugly ass bronze statue, this fucking douchebag. And it's like, oh yeah, we can't. Well, I mean, we had
He was very monumental to our movement.
It's like, well, here, let me borrow your phone real quick, okay?
Why do you think we
you
made
got
a
it?
statue?
All right, cool, pull it.
Why do you think we made a statue? God damn it!
When we wrote that, well, fucking the venue we played at, because I was there with my van. It was just like some guy lived there with his wife, and then he just like gave us all this food and shit when we were leaving. They're like, yeah, we didn't make much money from the show, but here's like some bagels and shit. And I was like, what the fuck are we gonna do with bagels, dude? We need gas money.
Fucking shit, dude.
Can't
got
throw
peanut butter?
bagels in the fucking gas tank.
You just find some fucking meth head, find some meth head, paint them all different colors, tell him they're Chaos Emeralds, and he'll buy it.
Chaos Emeralds.
The Chaos.
No, yeah, no, I'm excited to drive through with the gentleman. Hey,
Howdy.
why is it that I like to test my limits by being the nicest person in the world? I'm sorry, sir. I do not know what you mean. What do you mean, leave this place?
Dive Kick is in. It's a race between Ethan and Raging Cherry.
I didn't even see.
Okay.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah, a story mode, all levels race, damn tough difficulty.
Okay.
Oh.
Thanks for that one, GDQ.
Yeah, but I don't know,
so-
dude. GDQ has always been like at this point. I just going like with all the Nintendo product now. It's like.
I mean, it's been like that for a minute. In fact, like if people are interested about
Yeah, you're right.
our good friend Ricky, the Rickster, put out a very excellent video critiquing both GDQ and ESA in this regard, and like giving his like pros and cons to both in terms of like how they kind of. It was a very general thing, but he talked a lot about games lists and things like that, and so like he talked about in Europe it's
a lot of PC games,
a lot of PC, like a lot of dominance in PC games, and he talks about I think well, yeah, he talks about that, and then like in the West, a lot of Nintendo. It was really cool video. But since he has a lot of experience multiple times coming to both events and traveling around, things like that. But yeah, it's I don't get too hopped up on. I haven't been for a long time get hopped up on like what games are being shown, what's not, because there's plenty of other marathons, there's plenty of other ways to showcase games if you really care about it. And fucking charity, whatever. We're not watching most of them anyway. It's fine, but it's like
You damn right we're not. Hey,
my main,
hey, running sets in my room.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, do you need that much Zelda, dude? Like, do you need like
I don't think
fucking
we do.
like 12 hours?
Matthew Matosis just released the Breath of the Wild video. Zelda's never been hotter, dude. Come on, you gotta cash in on that shit while it's popping.
Bro, that's so much Zelda, dude.
It's so much.
How
like, so many
run through
okay,
again?
okay. So a link. Okay, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, 100%, 3 hours 15-minute estimate. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, 80% no amiibo, 35-minute. Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, 100%, 5 hours and 15 minutes. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, 80% bonus game. It'll get in because it's a donation thing. 23 minutes, which may not be 23 minutes. May not be that one where it was like it felt like a fucking hour because he couldn't get the nut spawn or whatever it was.
Hey, he did that twice, 2 different marathons
yes,
same year.
I know.
I would rather watch somebody fuck up Dampe.
Legend of Zelda.
See these fuckers fail boosts in Breath of the Wild.
Legend of Zelda randomizer race, which I do want to see in that case. Hour estimate. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, 80%, 2 hours, and then there's the Link to the Past / Metroid hybrid, whatever the fuck, however that
combo
works, which we just saw. So it's a lot. And then
if there's something that's slightly like, what the fuck? I can't think of the word. I'm just blanking out. Like slightly unconventional. That's a speed run. And people are like, that was cool. GDQ's like, we need that in the next 20 GDQs straight, dude. Get it in here. Tetris. More Tetris.
Yeah,
they
did that for a while.
Keep the task spots coming, dude. Oh, randomizers, we need all of them, dude.
Well, task spot was fine for a while because task spot was fine for a while because it was different every time, and then lately it's been like that. I mean, we talked about that a few casts ago. That fucking that Mario Portal thing, whatever that fucking was, like the concept of taking a game that no one has fucking ever seen. No one's heard of this shit, and then making a task out of it.
I remember when it released. I remember.
One person has heard of it. And you have a game
Dude,
that you have a game that so
dude.
you have BB sitting and they're like, oh wow, look at that cool thing that he did because of my
No, it
understanding.
wasn't cool. It wasn't cool.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't
Look,
cool.
the
So there was no-
context
so
part.
nobody cared.
I've talked about this before. Part of the context of really enjoying a task is understanding the game to some level prior to it being tasked. That's what makes speedruns themselves oftentimes interesting because if you have some context of having seen it before. So task is like the next fucking level for that, and understanding that this was fucking just by hand fucking tweaked and manipulated in order to be this cool fucking thing. If it's this weird ass game that I've never seen before, it's not gonna be interesting just because you have a cute little robot sitting on the fucking table. Like what? Come on, man.
And
it's hard for me to top shit. Like again, this is the example I always give. Like a few years ago when they had the whole thing where they took Mario World and everything got fucked up and then they turned it into Snake and it was all done. It was all reprogrammed. The entire game was reprogrammed with existing assets to create a new game within the controller. And they're explaining it as they go. That's pretty fucking cool. So if you just go from that to like, hey, here's Celeste. I mean, granted, that was a cool task last time. It was really cool.
And now it's back, dude.
And now it's back
all
again.
the strawberries.
It's like I don't care. Like and all of my brain can go to immediately is like, man, what else could have gotten in? Maybe another Nintendo game.
Probably
Mike
another,
Yama
another
doing
fucking
another
Zelda, dude. They didn't already accept everyone that submitted Zelda.
All right, hold on. I want
no,
to
Yama.
field your guys' opinion on this. How would you guys feel about an Ocarina of Time randomizer getting into a GDQ? Like as maybe like a co-op or something.
Sure.
Not even a co-op. I would say just let it rock.
Just let it
Let
just do
that-
it.
I would love
But
it.
isn't that what
You get one.
It's
well,
not in a
overall, it's a
GDQ.
yeah, Legend of Zelda randomizer race light flag set.
Yeah.
I think that's the first Legend.
And
of
then the other
Zelda.
one,
Like,
oh fuck me, you're right. I'm misreading because I read the thing above it, which was OOT. That's the bonus game. No, that's a regular Zelda. No, I'd be perfectly fine with. I'm fine with this one. I'm fine with OOT randomizer getting in. Sure.
Ocarina of Time is pretty new. It hasn't really gotten a chance to get into a GDQ. The only thing that's holding it back is that it's slow, kind of, in
Another
comparison
thing
to
that-
other randomizers.
Another
Don't
thing
they
that
have a
gets
fast
into
seed?
GDQ way too much, and I don't care because I'm biased towards it because I enjoy it. But Symphony of the Night is in every fucking GDQ, dude. And it's like there's not that many categories either. It's always just either Rom Scout or Dragon Blitz running like all bosses, or Richter all bosses, or fucking
Just pick a new character and just do that, or like just cycle through it.
race any percent, right? Like Dragon Blitz is in this one too.
It's the same. It's the same feeling with that and Super Metroid a lot of the time. It's just like, man, can we not? The whole Zelda thing. I personally think that if they wanted to dedicate a lot of time to Zelda, all they should have done is pick like Majora's Mask 100% and one other game, and that's it. Not everything that they did, because that's like how many hours? Like bordering 20 hours.
I
of Zelda?
thought the fucking last one was bad, but they added like 2 games onto it. I mean, it's okay. Let's see. So 3. Let's see. 6, 7, 8.
Well, we also have
9,
Portrait of
9.
Ruin in this one, so I'll take that. But Aria of Sorrow is a good run.
About 12
Aria of
hours.
Sorrow's dope.
12 hours of Zelda.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. That was, I think, last time the AGDQ was like 9. I want to say. This is a lot.
It's a obnoxiously large amount of Zelda, which is great for the people that love Zelda, but fucking hell, dude, it's a bit overrepresented sometimes.
Yeah, Zahir got in too, didn't he? Yeah, the guy running A Link Between Worlds, 100%. I used to watch his stream a lot. He's like super small streamer now. Like he used to like work at Arby's and he quit his job a while ago trying to go full time and didn't work out, so he had to go back to Arby's, and now he streams every once in a while. But yeah, he's a cool guy and he's been trying to get in GDQ forever, so I'm happy for him. But like still, like it's a lot of fucking Zelda, dude, and he's got the 3 hour and 15-minute run.
I guess
And I don't know how good of a speed run 100% is because I only watched him do any percent, but I'm happy for him at least. But yeah, it's still a lot of fucking Zelda.
I guess like my thing with the Zelda, and this was my case last AGDQ, is that the bulk of the Zelda stuff are these like the bulk of it to me that stands out is again Link Between Worlds Hundo 3 hour, Majora's Mask Hundo 5 hour, Minish Cap 2 hour. and it's just I look at League Between Worlds and especially MM and 5 hours, and I think of like, man, there's so many cool runs out there that are longer that you could have taken this Zelda out, kept the other fucking like 6-7 hours, however much, and either filled it with like other multitude games, or if there's something else really cool that has like a 3, 4, 5 hour time, you can choose it. But typically it's either like a hundo category in a Nintendo game, or like a Final Fantasy IV or a Chrono Trigger. If we're lucky a Kingdom Hearts that isn't 3. But it's like, you just don't, it's just the way it is. Look, I'm just saying, it's just. It's
Shout out
just,
to Nintendo, by the way.
It's just fortunate.
Wait,
hey, I'm glad they got in. But,
Get in?
yeah,
no, it's a.
Of course, it got in.
It's Nintendo, Crispy, and Miss doing a relay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so Chrono Trigger is going to be the closer, I'm assuming. I was
Probably.
looking for big RPGs. There it is.
It'd be funny if they make it KH3.
Man, I would just like, what would I do with this list?
Like,
I would
Red
chuck.
Dead 2 remake is in there. That's sick. Box doing that.
RE2 remake, yes, that's also in, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, I feel that one night-ish.
Majin Phil's a cool guy. Honestly, I would chuck A Link Between Worlds, Breath of the Wild, OT.
Bro, we
the
just
random-
had fucking
Wind Waker 100% or
That shit was
something.
like 6 hours of straight Zelda.
That's what I'm
dude.
thinking.
Yeah.
They're
Come
take
on,
these
dude.
huge fucking. It's less to me. It's less about how many Zeldas they have, and more just about how much time individual ones can take up compared to like other things they could have. On top of there being so many, it's like
I would chunk out.
It's so
It's like
much.
no one needs the randomizer. Nobody. I don't know. My personal thing is like Phil, the 100% run for Majora's Mask. Like once you get past the first 30 minutes, it is intense. It's really insane.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are going to like that, even though it's 5 hours, which is kind of
it's
a problem for a lot of people.
I'm happy that I can watch KH3 or whatever. I can actually have a reason to go into the room
Mhm.
or whatever, into
Yeah.
the stream room. But other than that,
Why is it
Ooh.
always relays with KH? Why don't they just let them race?
Because they want to recreate the magic of Bloody Biscuits, his brother Biz, and his brother Riz passing the pad around.
I mean, like you meme about that, but legitimately, I
I-
think a lot of people think that the first time that we got a KH game in after that long drought, the fact that it was multiple people doing it is like the magic behind it.
Yeah, I mean that was a cool ass fucking run, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like it's been in, like it's not like the drought is still there anymore. Like
No, I know.
all I
There's a
could
lot of
all I
people-
can think about that run all the time is how could you die? Zemnis won, seriously? Like,
He
come
won.
on.
Well,
No,
he
it's-
just,
throwing the world record,
I
he
just
didn't
wanted
want-
I just wanted to try this cool thing that I never
I
barely
forgot
tried
you were
before.
throwing the world
he was
record.
throwing the world record. He didn't want
Yeah.
that.
I
world
forgot you were
record.
throwing record. I forgot, dude. My bad. Oh shit.
I
You
had- I
guys,
had
check
to
out this cool
defend my
check
world
out this
record.
cool thing I was messing around in the practice room. Surely it'll work out.
It's gonna work.
Defending my honor. Yeah.
Whatever, you idiot. You're dumb. Stupid.
I
Well,
will
okay.
last- I will be on top forever.
Real talk, and I might get flagged for this, but honestly, the whole relay thing just seems like we want to give recognition to like a bunch of different people in the community.
That's
like,
what I think
get
it
it.
is. That's why I
get
think
it. There's
it
a
is.
lot of people in the.
when they're
There's a lot of
when they're observing the list and bringing people in, I think because there were so many fucking people submitting, especially between people who were trying to submit for the race and then people trying to submit for the relay. Like I think because that was the bulk of it, and like barely anyone was really submitting I can think of were submitting individually. Or I think it was only like Nintendo and a couple other people who added a category which was just like, hey, I'm just doing this for myself, and here's another one where it's like if you want to do the relay, do that.
Hey,
I think it was
Hey.
one of those. They look at all the names and they're like, might as fucking well just give it to.
you know
multiple.
what I'll say? I'm happy that I'm happy it's in. Cool. Let's get it out of our fucking system.
Get it out of.
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
you'll get it once and never again.
Yeah.
I think
Just get it out of the way.
I will
it's
say
never
I
coming
am
back.
also happy that the people that are running it are people that are actively aren't they top 3?
Yeah, more or
Yeah,
less. I
they're-
mean,
they're up
well,
there.
people that give a shit about it,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Bro,
then,
Mist isn't
hey,
even
I'm
playing
alright with it.
KH3 anymore.
Cool.
He went back to KH1 Prime.
No, Mist
He's
was
Well,
like,
look,
he's
I mean-
like, this is so
okay.
much more fun, dude.
Well, it is, but the funny, and that's the funny thing. I've seen
I
a lot
don't
of
know
people.
about that one, but hey, okay.
I've seen a lot of people getting kind of up in arms about that shit and being like, "Oh, why are they? They're not even playing the game. They don't even care about it, taking it seriously." I'm like, look, These people have been running games for a long time, and like Mist in particular is really just good at derusting and shit. Proud of like KH1, especially Proud of the game he does very well.
He his Proud run like the first
right, and that's a new route. That's staff route.
Yeah,
it's a completely new route. So he's able to do that well, and also it's fucking KH3. It takes 5 minutes to relearn it. You're fine. And that's not to discredit anyone who fucking it's not to fucking discredit anyone who runs the game, but it's very straightforward. It's not hard to fucking derust and get back into. But a lot of games, when you get the hang of it, a lot of games aren't that hard to get back into. Like they can be like, okay, it's a month out from G. It could be fucking it's 2 weeks out from GDQ. All right, I'm just gonna grind this every day until run. You'll be fine. And people
do it literally 2 days before and be like, all right, we're good.
There are people out there who, and I know it's mostly people who don't fucking run things as much, or they're very, very new, where they don't really have that kind of frame of mind or that kind of experience, where they look at others and it's like, well, this person isn't actively fucking playing this game, so. You know, obviously they don't give a shit. They don't have any right to do that or whatever. And it's like, yeah, well, their names on the fucking
got people burnt the fuck out on it, like so fast.
Are people on that fucking loyalist shit where like you have
it
has to be your baby?
People have been on that as long as I can remember. First like starting to go to GDQs and paying attention to and getting to know people in the community. This was 2015, 2014, like that window, and getting to know people who go through that process and who go to these events and things like. Once I started seeing that. Hell yeah, there are people who's like, man, this guy submitted and he's not even like, he hasn't even playing that.
He doesn't even run the game anymore.
He's been playing
like top 5 or
fucking,
something.
what is this, 2015, 16? He's playing H1Z1 all day, dude. What the fuck?
Hell yeah, dude. N-words in the pre-game.
2014.
Let's go, baby.
2014, no, I mix it up. 2015 was AGDQ 2015 was my first. Because I've been to 10 GDQs so far, right? Is that right?
Have you really?
You asking us?
AGDQ 2015, 16, 17, 17.
I tried to look at the
18,
cage
18.
leaderboards, but they're still hacked.
1, 2, 3, 4. I've been to 9. This SGDQ will be my 10th. Right? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been going since AGQ 2015, yes.
2015 would first. Technically,
I
only have 8 badges because of that whole thing. But anyway.
Hey, but you were there though.
I was there.
That's all that matters.
It worked out.
The cage leaderboards have still not been fixed, I see.
Well, it's a bunch of some fucking dickhead decided to go on a bunch of the KH games today and April Fool's people by deleting everything and then putting T-Series.
They hacked Sonic's speedrun account.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. So hopefully there's a backup because all that stuff's gone.
Yeah,
I don't know how that. And this is like right after
apparently a lot of super mods were hacked because when the shit got leaked, remember a while back, people just made their password the same shit that it already was.
Okay.
And so a lot of games got T-Series today.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oof, indeed.
What's gonna go on with that? Because I know Saiyans like just got done like reformatting everything for whatever reason. So.
You hate to see it happen.
I don't know. I'm gonna search it. I'm gonna go on the main page and see if it's all still T-Series. Because on one hand, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, and then I realized it wasn't just the icon. It was like everything was deleted. So I'm like, well, I hope there's a backup
Pretty
somewhere.
sure there's an N-word in there somewhere too.
Probably.
Oh
yeah, it's all that's bright red. Yeah, it's all
everything is
T-Series. So yeah, you click on it and it just. Oh, okay, well, in the case of. Is this Kingdom Hearts? I think no. Yeah, this is 3. In the case of Kingdom Hearts 3, there is a new first place time above Swift Shadow, and it is T-Series with the 29-second time above everyone else. Congrats to T-Series.
Yeah, see what you guys don't know. I'm not playing RuneScape on my other monitor. I'm truly just hacking the leaderboards.
I knew it. Well, oh well.
Yeah, everybody thought that it was the KH mods doing a thing at first, and then they're like, "Oh, wait a minute."
No.
Wait a minute.
The N-word.
I was thinking it was that until I saw like stuff was deleted, and I was like, all right, probably not, unless I don't know.
Unless they made a very thorough backup.
Probably not. So
I saw somebody talking about it earlier, but I can't be fucked to watch Fire Emblem speedruns, dude. I don't give a fuck. Watch that shit, dude.
Love Kirby Master to death. That guy's great. Known him for a long time now.
Yeah,
but I cannot be fucked to watch a single Fire Emblem run.
It's just not my cup.
It's not my thing, and I've tried really hard because he always works on hard on so many of them. And I'm like, I want to support this guy. I want to support this guy. I want to check it out. And boy, I'm not big on it. Why is Deltarune at GDQ? It's not even finished. It's chapter 1. That's all you have. So it's its own game. It's its own.
Why was DMC4?
Well, number one, that's its own game in itself, basically. And number 2, Toby Fox has yet to say like whether he's actually like done anything with the rest of the game. So for all we know, that may be whatever we get forever. So there's no problem with that. Plus, Deltarune is sick. So, whatever. I think it's pretty cool.
You think we should stop right here? Like it's almost been 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, like we got. I mean, there's some leniency if there's any extra stuff we want to go on. We don't have to like hard cut.
Oh, okay.
Or anything like that.
I mean, what else do we got to really talk about this weekend? Besides the fact that we're Twitch affiliates now, be ready to subscribe to our channel at twitch.tv/dinnerwiththeboys, twitch.tv/dinnerwiththeboys. But other than that,
What's
I don't really know.
Gonna be, dude?
What's the what?
What's the emote?
Well, we can't do Gohan because that's Ace's.
Yeah, dude. You got to sub to me for Gohan.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. I need to actually think of my emotes. I haven't done that yet.
Join the club, kid.
We should chat.
We should make
Chat,
that guy
help us
make
out.
that guy, please, man. Or an emote holding the phone.
Please, man.
Help us out, Chad. We'll take a
Yeah,
couple minutes. We'll take a couple minutes here. Give us some suggestions.
We need emote suggestions, chat. Hit us up. What do we need?
A bowl of rice.
Bowl of rice.
I was trying to think of something that would be like some sort of thing of food, but that probably wouldn't be very useful. Unless you had like unless you took that fucking, okay, I'm seeing all these really creepy versions of PogChamp now. The one where it's just like a big gaping mouth with 2 little fucking eyes on the top of it.
Oh,
and, like it's really creepy.
Megalol?
No, not a Megalol. Like no, it's like a PogChamp one, but it's like the mouth is really warped and distorted, and then it's just like the 2 eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So you can have that next to a bowl of rice, like he's really excited about eating it. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot I can think of to do in conjunction with other stuff. Cute brown girls, always good.
That's after we get email slot.
Yeah.
Look, our first few emotes have to be.
If anyone wants to DM me cute brown girl pics from your favorite
if anybody wants to DM me cute brown girl pics, I won't use them for emotes.
I was gonna say I will tell you that I will use them for emotes and then not.
Hey, ponytails and glasses. Hit me up.
I will masturbate.
Bunny girls too.
A lot.
No, I didn't play Undertale yet.
Undertale's fun.
Oh no!
Don't message Vash Christina V.
Please, man. If you want to send me some pictures, say go ahead, man.
God, I have such a great idea for next April Fools.
My emotes are open, or my DMs are open.
No, I did not play Undertale. I have a huge backlog. I still need to fucking play KH3.
I have a huge. I still need to get on Ace Combat 7. I still need to get on fucking Valkyria 4. Jesus.
No one's
I still need to get on Valkyria 1.
It's a good game.
No one's forcing you. Dude, I have it. I may as well fucking play it.
Make it a cup of tea, steaming hot tea, so I can use it. That's basically what this stream is. Tea time.
Tea time. I'm trying to think of anything it would be other than some sort of food item. But I don't know how useful that would be.
Well, I mean, as we get emote slots, we can have another Gohan emote. We can have like all of our staple stuff. But our first emote gotta be the grabber, dude.
I think one's gonna have
the reason why they subscribe.
One's gonna have to be Thanos.
Oh yeah, later. It has to be Thanos. Thanos is always there.
Thanos became an unintentional mascot. I just kept forgetting the GIF was there, and now it's like, well, he's gonna be there for an hour.
Come after us for that one.
I'll make it not Thanos. Maybe. I'll make Thanos.
Thanos. Lose that affiliate status real quick, dude.
And then I'll have to.
I've seen some people with some very questionable. How have you not been copyright-stricken emotes? So I'm like, well, that's partly on Twitch's end. Like they approved that shit. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
I need to check. Hey, first, for real though, Dax, tell me the email for this fucking account so I can put the goddamn Twitter on it, dude.
Oh right. It's just like what is it? Oh,
Don't dox us. Don't dox our email.
no, I wasn't gonna say it. I was
Email
trying to
account.
remember it. No, I was gonna say it. I was trying to remember it in my head, but it did
They
sound
have
like I was gonna
special
say it.
email, dude.
His asshole.
The annotates when Ant-Man jumps into the...
That's the plot of Endgame, and if it's not, then I'm.
Did y'all see real quick before we go? Did y'all see the fucking someone repainted that? It's the clip of Shaq in that Hot Ones episode when he makes the
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
takes when he makes the face. But they have the thing of
Yeah.
Ant-Man jumping at his ass and like they repaint him purple so he looks at the screen.
Did you see
God.
the Big Smoke one, dude?
Yeah, I saw that. Oh. Yeah, Hot Ones is pretty great, especially now that there's a Shaquille O'Neal episode. God,
Hulk has a fucking emote of that face already too.
yeah, I know it's really good.
Damn, he's on top of it, dude.
Oh
Shit.
yeah, we'll figure out the emote thing. We'll get the Aceuhh and I'll get.
I will get the Twitter
account.
popping. I'll have Dax update all of our things with the Twitter. Woo.
All right. Well,
Probably
guys.
the first thing I see when I open the server is goatsy made out of food.
All right. Well, with that, we're ready to call it. So.
Please, companies sponsor us. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 21st episode of Dinner with the Boys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow any of us at all, be sure to scroll down. If you're watching from YouTube, be sure to check out the description if you made it this far and didn't close out the second we started talking about the man kneeling down on one knee talking to Christina V.
We were peak viewers in that.
Please,
point, too.
We were.
May I DM
You're right.
man? I want permission to private message you, man. Please,
Please, ma'am.
please, man.
If you're not already following the channel, please follow the channel. Follow all of us on all of our social media and all that dumb shit. Until next dinner, wash your hands. Bye, guys.
Bye, bro.
Bye, Jamata.